Welcome, everybody, to the Buttery Podcast. I am your host, Killer Queen, Memes the Dust. With us, we don't have our other co-hosts. They're both busy, but we have some very special guests with us. First, we have, the one and only Deadbolt.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me on here. In case anyone doesn't know, I also have a podcast with members from because I'm from the Discord server that's called the official Clothespin server, and we did host a podcast and we featured Killer Queen Memes the Dust there. So, probably should be a link in the description if you want to hear some more of his thoughts because we talked about other things too. So.
And we also have the wonderful Velveeta.
Yo, I'm Velveeta Cheese or PrinceVegeta860. I'm just a guy who likes to talk, I guess.
Yeah, you don't talk in our server, okay.
We also have Reject with us.
Yeah, hello, I'm here. If you guys really just want to check out the podcast. For my video, the link will be down in the description. It'll be edited, all that. Just have a nice time.
And last and certainly least, we have Emily with us. However, she's just with the text. So we will be talking about what she says in text chat on occasion, discussing what she says.
Ooh, silent but deadly, okay.
Yeah, silent but deadly. That's why she's the one that edits my scripts. Okay. So the first topic we want to talk about here is YouTube Rewind.
Oh, yay. I love it.
Yeah.
So we'll go from the top to the bottom on this, except for Emily. We don't count her. So I'll go first. And what can I say positive about it? I'll try to think of something I can say positive.
At least the Paul brothers are not there, so.
Yeah, there's a positive. At least the Paul brothers aren't there. However, there's many negatives. First of all, they overplayed Fortnite in that. Like, they had so many references to Fortnite. I honestly like. Okay, I'm just gonna give a little bit of a story here at the beginning here. When I first watched it, I was at my college campus, watching it in the student commons, and I had to shut it off halfway through because I felt so embarrassed watching it.
I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. I saw Casey Neistat in there, other things like that. I saw so many just old YouTubers that like don't even matter by this point. Not saying that they're irrelevant. It's just like
irrelevant, guys.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be a rice scum here, but no, it's just they're not as important as, Penguins which they actually wanted him to be there. If any of you guys actually know who Penguins is,
he's critical.
Yeah, critical. Yeah, he's a really good YouTuber. They wanted him there. He said no because he knew that there was going to be all these people here, so he didn't want to have a bad rep. But like, they wanted so many other people, and like,
a lot of people were omitted from that too. Actually,
and a lot of good YouTubers are actually kicked out of it because and it's mostly because they want to be PC and fine with the culture and all that and have culture diversity. That's why you basically see in that picture that Prince put out, there's only basically 2 white people, which I'm not going to go any further into that. But I mean, PC, other things like that. Usually what happens is that will affect the kind of diversity that you'll have in your groups. But
and also one minor is no PewDiePie in T-Series.
Oh, yeah.
That I saw that too.
So first major thing that catches your attention in the video definitely is the celebrities.
Yeah.
They have Will Smith at the very beginning of it, which with The Rock being in whatever Rewind he was in, I don't remember. Last year.
Okay.
I was mad enough having him there because he's already a celebrity. He has he has a YouTube channel. Congratulations, but like, he didn't get his fame from YouTube. He's not one of these people who rose from nothing to something through YouTube. And it's just insulting that they have somebody like him there or Will Smith, but they don't have people who actually like worked hard to get to this point just because they're not advertising.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And another thing that caught my attention, which I don't know if they did this on purpose, but they had one part where they did Fortnite dances in a forest, and I swear it looked so much like the Suicide Forest. It's almost like they were trying to pay homage to the fact that Logan Paul messed up at the very beginning of the year by like filming, which is disrespectful as all hell if they tried to do that, and that was their intent.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna. I'm surprised people are giving them more flack on that than they are.
People are just memeing it at this point because, like, they're just memeing everything. It's like, oh yeah, YouTube Rewind predicted bitch lasagna because it took place at the beach. I was like, wow.
And I think the major point about this also that hit a lot of people with like the oh yeah, come on YouTube was the whole message of like, oh, this YouTube has done such wonderful things throughout the year. No, YouTube hasn't done anything wonderful besides demonetize a whole bunch of people.
Exactly. I was about to bring that up too. Like Emperor Lemon, he's like a YouTuber that like now just does analyzing like YouTube. He did a video saying like, oh, instead of just like focusing on what about how happy we are, just focus on what YouTube fucked up. And he like did his own YouTube rewind, just showing how much YouTube fucked up in 2017.
Yeah.
Personally, I think YouTube Rewind should be a place where YouTube looks back on what YouTube has done, not what pop culture has done. Not like, oh, look at all these like funny references and memes, and that aren't actually even funny, even to normies.
Damn, Daniel.
Yeah.
Damn, Daniel. You're having the fucking yodel kid in there like a degenerate.
I mean, if they meme the hell out of it, I think it would be pretty funny, but they don't do that, which is dumb.
Like, and they also don't show off like the people who actually meant something to YouTube throughout the year. As much as I hate the Paul brothers, having them and maybe KSI and Deji would make sense because of the fight. Even though the fight was garbage, it would make sense.
Yeah.
And the Shane Dawson documentary series that had a whole bunch of views. Like more than most more than most like TV live broadcasts.
Yeah. Why the main thing that I am angry with also is why the heck didn't they have a scene where Ninja bans everyone because he complains that they signed him? Why does Ninja like?
And Ninja's mostly with Twitch.
Yeah, that too. I don't know why Ninja's gonna be in YouTube Rewind.
Well, he does have a YouTube.
Yeah, he has a YouTube account,
but he's mostly Twitch. Cause like what? Who are they gonna get? The Paul brothers? Hell nah. Like what? KSI? What he's done with the box? Like no. Like not Twitch. I'm sorry. YouTube wants to be so PC. They want to be so clean and like appeal to like the broader audience that they'll fucking like cherry pick their creators just to be on it. It's like there's so much omissions because they started doing more edgier content, making fun of the system, like making fun of YouTube, and like I've been seeing people just getting omitted because of that. Like Jax Films is a notable YouTuber who's always appeared in all of it. He made fun of Rewind. He himself made fun of Rewind, and he wasn't even in it.
Yeah.
I also I do want to bring up something that Emily just said because it does catch my attention. They had, as she said, shit tier K-pop in it. Which K-pop was a big thing throughout the year to some people, but YouTube really?
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
Because they've been breaking records. That's why it makes sense that they break records, but like
they're actual celebrities. I don't want any of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's why I don't want like that either. It's like it's just a free pass, you know. Like it's easy to make 1 million views. It's like, oh, might as well put Ariana Grande there. Like, at least put Susan Wojcicki like every year just to like just like a fuck you to everyone. It's like just put her there at every ending and make her show up.
Yeah, like, put her at the end and have her hold up a sign of demonetization.
it's like, hey guys, I'm running this company. Like YouTube has changed.
Yeah. I also
honestly, I just YouTube Rewind this year actually somehow managed to top YouTube Rewind last year and how bad it is, and I'm just I'm stunned at that. There's so many things that YouTube did wrong in this that they could have easily
they try
done
to
right.
be political. They try to be political too.
Yeah. No, that's that's another thing that I wanted to try to talk about is that I saw the Try Guys, which if you guys don't know, they're like a group of 4 guys on BuzzFeed. Yeah, and they're the Try Guys in heavy quotation marks, which go around and do random stuff. Mostly it's just eating really expensive food compared to like non-expensive,
like $300 Supreme versus $2 Supreme. Yeah,
stuff like that, just random stuff. And it's like you could tell that was optional. Like they didn't have to put them in there. They put them in there as a small snippet, but the fact that they did makes it even the more obvious that they are trying to actually nitpick. Right? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if they're getting paid to do it. Like the Try Guys are like, yeah, just put us in there, or if they're doing that by choice, and the Try Guys were like, okay,
I've been seeing a lot of videos of people who joined the Rewind like for the first time, and they said that they're not going to fucking do it. Like they're not doing it next year because like how they were treated during the set, and how much screen time they got, which is like a quarter of a second, unless you're the Paul brothers. So
and not to mention they also don't get paid.
They don't. No, they don't.
No, they don't get paid at all.
Yeah, they don't.
They do all that work. And I feel bad. Like I feel bad for the animators that were in it. I mean, I don't really care for most of them.
Animation
got to get your compensation.
Yeah, but yeah, they animated all of that, and they got nothing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
all they got out of it
takes
was
a long
bunch
time.
of hate.
I was gonna say it's like animation on YouTube is dead. So
yeah,
like of course the low quality animators just rule YouTube now. So
well, yeah, kind of like the 2 like top animators I'd say right now is Jaden Animations and the Odd Ones Out.
Odd Ones Out, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You can thank the algorithm for that.
Yeah. Wasn't the Odd Ones Out inside of YouTube Rewind?
Yeah, he was one of the ones there. He's one of the ones I do feel sorry for because I don't hate him as much as I do some of the other ones that were there.
I never thought the Odds Ones Out was that much of a bad guy. I usually just thought he was like, he seems like a good guy. He's the only guy that I really have no bad rep with. And like back on the topic of Will Smith though, like I understand he's a celebrity and all that, and I can get where you guys are coming from with that, but like I think Will Smith is a good guy. He's okay. He's all right. He's a good person.
He's a good guy for a Scientologist or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I forgot.
But I mean, I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem with the fact that he's a celebrity and he's in it.
Yeah, it's like
because
they just favor like the top
the
guys,
more popular
guys. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
Not really the top ones as much as the top ones that are family friendly and like advertiser friendly.
Like show the real side of YouTube.
Yeah, show the pyrocynicals.
Remember, your fucking site was built because of people like us who wanted to entertain people and like express ourselves. But now it just became a corporate shell, and like YouTube's just reflecting that with their rewinds every year.
Yeah,
it's just really sad about this. I realized we're gonna take turns like talking and discussing this stuff, but yeah, they just kind of went into. So Velveeta, if you have anything to add on to that, then I'll pass the.
Yeah, I was about to say too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just agree with you guys.
Mm-hmm. Like, I just want to say one last thing. It's like the reason why YouTube does that is because they want to show the influencers. It's like they want to show like the people who want to invest in YouTube. Hey, look how clean and shiny we are. Look how nice we are.
Yeah.
It's just
look at us dancing in the suicide forest. Look at how nice we are.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Okay, so ReJax, do you have anything to add on or?
No, I think I got my say.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We'll move on to the next topic, which is the Game Awards. There was a lot of games that were revealed and announced there. And let's just I don't want to talk too much necessarily about these ones since we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention some of these and then discuss any thoughts that we have on them individually. So the first one is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 being announced.
Ooh, we haven't gotten the game like that for so long. Fun fact, actually, Marvel I think it's the second one, was originally supposed to be played on the Wii, but when I think it was Marvel that developed it, they showed them the tech demo to Nintendo. They used the PlayStation buttons as placeholders, and Nintendo got furious, and they ended up rejecting the idea.
Yeah, and right now, like, Marvel's like really popular right now because of the
the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
I don't blame them either. Yeah, it's like I'm a little excited. Like, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the cinematic universe, extended universe. I'm not excited about that because so obviously they're not going to put like X-Men or Fantastic Four or like any of those underappreciated heroes. It's just going to be like an advertisement for like the new Avengers. That's to me what it kind of feels like. Because it was the same case with Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. It just felt like an advertisement to the new Avengers movie.
Okay, Emily did point out a few things here. One, that it is Switch exclusive, which is big.
Actually, that's good, yeah.
And the other thing is that there are X-Men and other characters of that sort, because I do remember in the trailer too, I saw Wolverine in the trailer.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Oh, so Disney's actually like giving X-Men attention now?
Yeah, probably because they bought out Fox, you know?
Yeah. Disney buying the competition. Like, what's the point of giving your license if you're going to buy them later?
Let's collect all the Infinity Stones.
Yeah. Like, Disney's started Empire. So, wow, that's good information, because I haven't seen the trailer, because I'm lazy, but...
Yeah, but...
Obviously, Deadpool. Like, Prince Vegeta, he did say, is Deadpool going to be in it? Of course he's going to be in it.
Hold on, actually, let me...
He has to be in it. I'm not sure 100%. I don't think he was in the trailer, but he has to be.
It's obvious. He's in, like, almost every game other than Infinite, but...
he would be an obvious choice, especially with his popularity.
Yeah, everyone likes him.
Yeah. Now, I believe when Emily did point out that it was, like I said, Switch exclusive, but I believe the reason why is actually because it's being developed by Nintendo.
Yeah.
Which, this is a little thing to point out there. Now, I think unless anybody has any more things to point out about Ultimate Alliance, I think I'll move on to the next game. All right, we'll move on to Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
So that's the remake, right?
Yeah, the remake for Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that because
I am too.
I grew up playing that on the PS1, and it's so fun.
If it's a cash grab, I think they did a really smart move with that one, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because people wanted a Crash to come back because they've been releasing shitty games, and people were scared that it's just gonna end up like Skylanders. But now it's not.
Then the Insane Trilogy came out, and everyone's like, "There's hope." And I right when I saw the Insane Trilogy, I was like, "They're gonna make a remake of CTR. I know it. They have to." And they have, and I'm not so far from what I've seen, not really disappointed at all, because I mean, there's customization onto the carts, which is a nice new addition. You got online play, so you can play with people that are even with you, which is good, because before it was a pain in the butt having to get people to come over, and also having to plug in that boomerang shaped stupid adapter for freaking for your PlayStation controllers to have 4 players. It was a pain back then, but now we have online, which is really nice. Now, I've also heard a rumor. I don't know if this is true. I haven't confirmed this, and I didn't do enough research before the podcast to confirm. But I heard that there's going to be a special edition of the game in which you start the game off with Oxide unlocked as a racer. Which is interesting, since in the original game you couldn't race as him, which is making me think possibly they're gonna have DLC racers.
That's actually not bad, actually. Well, Activision still owns Crash, right?
Yes.
That's something Activision would do. I wouldn't be surprised.
I am predicting now. I'm not happy if this happens, but I'm predicting that they're gonna have DLC racers and microtransactions for the customizations on cars.
Yeah, if they turn it into what they did, if what EA did with the Battlefront series, I don't think most people are gonna like the game because everybody loved Battlefront whenever it first came out. And
now, microtransactions would just suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I hate microtransactions. I don't think anyone who's seen my previous video would disagree with that. But I'd be okay with them as long as it's just changing the cosmetics of your code. And if there's ways to unlock the in-game currency that you use for the microtransactions, if there's a way to do that in-game, and it's just customizing coats, I don't care because it's just a small thing. But if they add it into some kind of like, you can get these characters in loot crates or something, that's no.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if they did what they, kind of like what I think Activision or some other company, I don't remember, but the company that created For Honor, you guys know what that game is, correct?
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, what they did with For Honor, if they did exactly what they did with For Honor, I don't think they would have a problem because people can actually work up to what they want in For Honor. Like, they can work up to the loot crates and stuff like that and get what they want out of it. But if they don't do it like that, I think they're going to have a real problem.
Yeah, so do we have anything else to say about
I was going to say it's like that I'm very excited, but like Activision has a track record of like just doing deceitful shit because they did that with Black Ops 4. Like, people were excited that Black Ops 4 is going to be a good game, and they're like, "Oh yeah, guys, this game's so good. Buy our microtransactions." After the game was released.
Yeah,
and I just hated that.
I mean, you gotta, if you're gonna put in microtransactions, you want to put it in at the same time that you let the game get out.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that your players are used to it. Like, they might be used to it in different games, but they weren't expecting it in the game that everybody was ready for.
Emily has also pointed out something that the original Crash Team Racing had it so you could actually unlock the different races, which is good because if they keep that, then hey, they're not shoving these characters that are already like in the original game into DLC. That's
well, what do they mean by unlockable characters? Like
they had the four bosses of the four minor bosses of the game, like what was it? Ripperoo, Papu, crap, what was the other ones? It was Komodo Joe and Pinstripe, I believe, were the other ones. You could unlock them by completing like cups or whatever.
So basically, like beating a story mode. Okay.
Beating a part of beating like a series of races in the story mode. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of reminding me of what they did with what Toonami or whatever, I forgot, did with their Dragon Ball Z game or whatever, where they would unlock characters to the storyline. That wouldn't work the same with the game that we are talking about right now, which is Crash. Because if they did it like that, it would be extremely easy for anybody to do it, because all they would have to do was look up a tutorial or anything like that. Instead, I think they would just go with a straightforward sort of unlocking system, which is buy the characters through in-game currency or buying them through DLC or other things like that. Because if they did it the other way, like I said, it would make it way too easy for most players.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's how they had it in the original game. They had it so that you had to basically, I believe you had to do like special, like you raced all the races regularly for the game. You had to do that, like you had to race all the tracks to beat the game. Yeah. But to get the special like bonus cups or whatever, you had to do the races again and like collect the CTO tokens or something like that, or do the time trials or something along those lines. One of those extra challenges. Then after you did that with a certain amount of them, you would unlock the extra trial, I believe, and then you'd have to complete that extra trial. So it's not really hard, but it is time consuming. And it could be a little challenging to people who are not good at kart races, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm also going to predict that if they do make Nitrous Oxide an actual racer, they're probably going to make it so that you have to unlock him by doing some like extra, like probably some extra thing, beating the whole story, like getting 100% probably would be how you get him. I'm just going to guess.
Or a microtransaction.
Yeah, it could be a microtransaction.
Yeah, but it would have to be extremely rare.
Yeah. But I'm also thinking, how are they going to work one of the racers that wasn't actually fully even implemented in the game. For those who know, there's actually a code you could type in the original Crash Team Racing to unlock a racer called Penta Penguin, which was just a penguin. The character wasn't fully implemented in any way that you could unlock it. You couldn't unlock it without the code. And it actually wasn't even fully developed, I believe, because they have 2 placeholder sound files for when it's racing.
Okay.
But I'm confused on how they will actually implement that into the game, or if they even will at all.
Well, I mean, if they do, they would probably get as much information from the last game as they can, and probably throw it into the other game and try to edit it a little bit better and try to polish it and other things like that. Because was it already like a racer beforehand? It's just not unlockable.
Yes, it was already a racer. It just wasn't unlockable without using a cheat code on the title screen. And the racer was fully made, except for 2 of its sound clips were not fully implemented. So when it did something, instead of having the sound clip play, it would say Penguin Yay 1 or Penguin Yay 2.
Okay.
So it was fully implemented besides that. What I'm thinking, hopefully, what they will do with that is, which they might not do this, but they might do this because they did have a reference to cheat codes before in the Insane trilogy. But I'm thinking it would be cool if they made it so that you could unlock him straight off the bat if you knew the code. If you just went to the title screen, typed in the code, and then you would unlock him permanently through that. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And a nice nod back to the originals.
Yeah.
So is that it on the topic of Crash Team Racing?
Yeah, I believe that's it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to the next one, which is Mortal Kombat 11. Oh boy, that trailer was intense.
Yeah, dude, I saw that just a few minutes ago. It was the best.
I am thoroughly. Okay, I've never been a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. I do have to admit that.
Same here.
Yeah.
But I actually am looking forward to this. Not only because, it looked good, but also because it is going to be on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh.
Which is a huge surprise since Mortal Kombat hasn't been a Nintendo console since, either the N64 or the GameCube.
No, actually, it was on Armageddon was on the Wii.
Well, Armageddon. Fuck Armageddon. Ignore that one.
Yeah, we don't count that one.
We don't talk about Armageddon.
Yeah, you're right. But honestly, what I think about it is that the game has a lot of promise. Like MK10, Mortal Kombat X had looked really good, and I love the mechanics about it. But the problem is that it's a NetherRealm Studio games, and the game feels so gimmicky, and it's not fun. It's slow and gimmicky, and the competitive scene ended up dying out because just one guy ended up being supreme, reign supreme throughout the tournaments, and that was Sonic Fox. So. Hell, even Injustice 2, a lot of people that gave the game praise, doesn't have a good competitive scene either. So that's the thing I'm gonna expect from Mortal Kombat 10. Mortal Kombat 11 is that a lot of people are gonna get hyped for it, and then when another fighter comes out, people are gonna switch over to that.
Yeah.
Can I also mention how Sonic Fox got an award at the Game Awards?
Oh yeah, in a suit, right?
Yeah, he had his suit on. But shout out to him for getting an award for killing a game.
I mean, he did do really well in Fighter Z.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, props to him. Seriously, 100%.
Yeah, but I mean, Fighter Z is kind of like a different scene though, different mechanics than most games usually.
It's a pretty fun game.
I mean, it's kind of like Mortal Kombat, but I mean,
it's more like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, except you don't get automatically kicked out.
Yep. So I think one of the major points though that people have been talking about with Mortal Kombat 11 is the Nintendo aspect, because of the fact that Nintendo hasn't had a good history with Mortal Kombat. If you look back, such as when Mortal Kombat was first brought onto the SNES, they removed the blood, which made it an inferior port compared to the Genesis port. 100%. Fight me if you disagree, because you're wrong.
Yeah, that's the reason why people got the Genesis, and people consider the Genesis version just an exclusive because the Super Nintendo version was so inferior. They're like, "Oh, you guys, the Genesis, the good game is Mortal Kombat." But
yeah, it's 100%. it was 100% garbage comparatively. But it's really nice to be able to see Mortal Kombat coming back to a Nintendo console.
Yeah,
I mean, there was absolutely none of them on the Wii U.
Of course, Wii U flopped.
Yeah, Wii U flopped. There was basically nothing on the Wii U, period.
That's why I didn't get it. The only good game, the only game that was there was Mario Maker and Smash, but I didn't even like Smash 4, and Mario Maker just ended up it's not stale because people can customize it, but it's just the exclusion of Miiverse makes more unique levels just horrible.
And I just the Wii U, I own a Wii U, so I'm just gonna say that. But realistically speaking, it probably wouldn't have been a good console for Mortal Kombat because I mean, what would you do with the gamepad?
Ooh,
yeah, I don't know.
The gamepad hindered the Wii U heavily.
Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be surprised. People thought it was an expansion to the Wii, so.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if it was an expansion to the Wii, honestly. The Wii was a pretty good selling console, although it was starting to get outdated.
It was. It uses the GameCube specs, just overclocked. That's all it was. It's just an overclocked GameCube.
So is that it for Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah.
Honestly. I have one thing to ask. Do you guys think that there's gonna be any horror movie characters?
Well, I mean, I think in the last one they added in a Alien.
Alien, yeah.
Yeah, Alien and Predator and other things like that. So I have no doubt that they might even add a Freddy.
They might bring back
Freddy. Yeah, dude,
they've already had
Freddy.
Yeah, they might bring.
Okay, well, I've never seen that one then.
Yeah, he was yeah, he was in Mortal Kombat 9. I thought he was an exclusive, but he's not. It's Kratos that's an exclusive.
They might have Michael Myers.
Michael Myers is next.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, what I kind of think about it is that I like how they actually noticed how the characters don't die even at fatal wounds.
Yeah.
They continued it on knowing that it's a game. They didn't try to just fake it out. That's what I liked most about it.
All right. Pretty sure we have all of the topics for that discussed, so we can move on to probably my favorite of the reveals that happened. Joker from Persona 5 being in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah.
It is. I've already said this on the Clothesline podcast, but I am a huge fan of Persona, and so seeing that, honestly, I have never actually jumped with joy, but I did at that point when I saw Joker as being in Smash Brothers, because it's such out of left field thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a PlayStation exclusive character coming into Smash Brothers.
That honestly, it was just out of nowhere too, because no one expected it made sense with Snake because Masahiro Sakurai is good friends with Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so for me, this kind of looked like a really, really big cash grab on those that really love the series of Persona, because honestly, I haven't seen too much on Persona recently. So for this to pop out of the blue really seems like their company's either one, failing, or two, they really just need the money for a new Persona game, because Persona can't keep going forever.
I'll be retorting that here. Persona 5 1 sold a ton of copies.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
To the point that Persona 5 was competing against in 2000 whatever year it was the Game Awards. It was in the Game Awards. I think it was last year. It was competing against Breath of the Wild and Super Mario Odyssey for Game of the Year. It's been praised over and over again, and now they're starting to release spin-offs for the game, which will get it more money.
I don't remember. Who won Game of the Year?
It was Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta. I think to an extent.
Oh, you mean this year?
Yeah.
Oh, it was God of War.
Oh, God of War won it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, didn't Fortnite also win some other aspect of it?
Fortnite won something. I don't care about Fortnite though.
Yeah, I know. I know.
We don't discuss Fortnite in my podcast.
Yeah. If you play Fortnite, you better get laid, or else you're gonna be a virgin forever.
But I mean, like you got to understand to an extent that the gaming awards and stuff like that are not completely controlled by the people.
No, they're not.
Yeah. So I mean,
they're not.
They're not completely controlled. So I mean, for Persona to be up there, like what the companies that made Persona are big. Like they're big.
Sega and more specifically Atlas, which
is so they've got a lot of money to go off of to be put up there. So I mean, Persona itself, I've seen it, looks like a pretty good game. But the thing is like it doesn't click with most of the fast-paced games that we see nowadays. So it's getting kind of pushed out of the way.
Actually, have you? First, I'm going to ask. I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but have you played Persona?
I've seen gameplay of it.
It is a fast-paced game.
Well, I understand that, but
if you know what you're doing and you're not like a total scrub, which by the time you get further into the game, you should know what you're doing. It'll be fast-paced. You can just blaze through the game. Like I'm on my 4th or 5th playthrough of the game.
Yeah, well, I understand that, but like I don't mean by like fast-paced anything like that. I mean like FPS, first-person shooting, like Halo, Black Ops, stuff like that. It doesn't. I don't feel like it would click the same for people that play.
Well, yeah, because that's a whole different genre.
Yeah, and like
and
most
it's a genre that's not going to be clicking with Smash Brothers in general too.
Yeah, I know that, but like what I'm trying to say is that like more people are going towards games like that nowadays. They like fast-paced FPSs.
Not necessarily.
I understand that. I'm talking about the younger generation, not ours. I'm talking about the kids that see the games that are being put out nowadays. They're not going to think Persona is going to be as fun as, or if they do, they're not going to see as much of it as they would see of Call of Duty, other things like that. Persona itself is a great game. I would say that it's like one of the best that I've ever seen, honestly. But it's not going to be as relevant later in time whenever kids are playing Call of Duty, maybe even Fortnite 2. I don't know, but
it's because kids have short attention spans. Like
exactly,
they want to play something that has a lot more action. You just puts them in the gameplay. That's why Fortnite is so popular, is because it's a game that just puts them in the action.
Yeah, if Persona was switched places with Fortnite, and Persona was like Fortnite, and Fortnite was like Persona, Fortnite wouldn't be anywhere near where Persona would be if they were in that switch position.
The point though is, yes, there's these games that appeal to dumb audiences. I'm just gonna say that. I don't care. Okay. Fight me. But these games like Fortnite that will appeal to them. But it's not. Smash Brothers isn't about that. It's about what the fans would want, and they know the fans. A lot of fans would want Joker and Smash Brothers comparatively to some of the other ones.
Yeah, but
especially since Joker is popular amongst some of the people. I mean, look at King K. Rool. A lot of kids don't know who King K. Rool is since the last game I believe he was in was one of the Mario baseball games.
Well, he was actually in Mario Baseball.
There was some kind of Sluggers Mario.
Yeah, I didn't even.
He was in one of those ones. That's the last game he was in, and even then it was a surprise to people because people thought that Rare owned him, but it's actually Nintendo. They just don't use him.
They just don't like using it because Rare and Nintendo had a
homage to Rare, and they don't like that.
Yeah, it's like Rare has a beef with Nintendo. That's why apparently Miyamoto said that he thought Donkey Kong Country was a shit game, and the only reason why people played it was for the graphics.
That's actually that's actually not true that he said.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah, it's a urban legend or whatever. It's not actually true. He didn't say it.
But I mean, it's evidence because Yoshi's Island was made with cartoons and all that. I don't know, but they had a bad relationship with each other, and Nintendo as a FU to Rare, no, Rare did an FU by making Donkey Kong the damsel in distress in the next games. That's why in Donkey Kong Country Returns they don't use King K. Rool because it's why would you use Rare's products?
I mean, if they had such a bad relationship, which I'm only saying this because the rumor is fake. I mean that whole thing is fake.
No, they always had a bad relationship. It wasn't because of that, but it was they had a bad relationship with each other.
I mean, Nintendo had a bad relationship with I can't remember who it was, but one of the people who made the Star Fox one. Argonaut. I know that.
I don't remember Star Fox.
It's Argonaut, but no, Argonaut. I was saying, no, because it just escalated when they were making Dinosaur Planet, and then Miyamoto was like, "Nah, make it a Star Fox game," even though it had nothing to do with Star Fox, and they're like, "You know what? We'll rush it, and then we'll get bought out by Microsoft." How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
So Joker in Persona, pretty sure we discussed. I mean,
we kind of got off track.
We kind of got off track there. We got onto like kids playing these fancy schmancy first-person shooters or whatever.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we could get a little bit more into that if you guys want to, because like I think we can have a really good constructive conversation about it.
I think we can talk about it, but I want to be able to get through the topics that we have planned first. We can come back to that topic. So
yeah, we can.
Put a little bit of a pin into that one.
We need more. We need the more ad revenue, so make it longer.
Should I say? Should I say put a clothespin in that one so we can keep that one? So Joker being in Super Smash Bros. Really opens the opportunity for literally anyone in gaming now. Anyone could be in Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
And so I asked this question on the Clothesline podcast yesterday. I'm dating myself here, but oh well. I asked this question before, but I'm gonna ask it again since we do have new people here, and maybe Deadbolt has another person that he.
I have another inclusion.
Okay, good. There's 4 DLC characters still unannounced, and I want to know who all of you think, who all of you would want for that DLC character to be. I'll go first, I guess, this time. The long-awaited my reveal of characters that I think. So first off, I would want Shantae. Shantae, I'm a huge fan of Shantae, the Shantae games.
Yeah.
And I feel like Nintendo doesn't give them as much love as they should. I mean, they've been around since the Game Boy Color, so give them a little bit of love, Nintendo. They've been supporting you for a long time, and admittedly, one of the games didn't come out on your console, but it was because it was the Wii U. What do you expect? But they have supported you. Almost all of their games have been on Nintendo consoles, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
And Shantae would be a really good character with a lot of different move sets. I mean, she can transform into different animals and things. She can use cannons and different weapons like that. She can use her hair as an attack. It would just be a really unique character. Not to mention, I mean, come on, who would not like to see Shantae just dancing around on the field?
Yeah.
The next one I mentioned on the Clothesline podcast, Crash Bandicoot. He'd quite clearly be a really have a lot of diverse moves.
It's like he's actually like one of the most major, like one of the biggest mascots other than from Nintendo. He's like well known, and it's kind of fitting to put Pac-Man, another major mascot, and Mega Man. Like there's a lot of mascots in there. And we really need another mascot character. Like,
I mean, you've got Sonic for Sega.
Yeah, I forgot to mention Sonic too. Yeah.
Oh, you got Sonic for Sega. Obviously, you got Mario for Nintendo.
Pac-Man.
You've got Pac-Man. You've got Snake, I guess, for Konami if you want. You've got I've got Joker for Atlas.
Yeah.
You got Cloud for Square Enix.
Yeah.
You got a lot of different representatives that can help show that these are the mascots. And honestly, Crash Bandicoot would be a really nice mascot to show. Hey, PlayStation isn't bad.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't put Crash in PlayStation's All Stars.
They didn't because they didn't have the rights at that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Activision had the rights, and Activision was just sitting on that rights, doing nothing.
Because Skylanders was making the money.
Yeah. So Crash Bandicoot. If you want to know a little bit more about that, then you should watch the Clothesline podcast. I talked more about his potential moveset and all that. Just watch it. Do it. So then the next one I have here is one that a lot of people have been mentioning a rail representative, like having Banjo-Kazooie, and I really would want Banjo-Kazooie, but I thought this is Super Smash Brothers. Why don't they go a little bit more out there and get somebody else who people would like to have, but they wouldn't expect. And so I picked Lash from Battletoads.
Oh yeah, more fitting because it's a combat game. Like Battletoads, it can work like that. I mean, wasn't like one of the characters from Battletoads in Killer Instinct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's possible they can be in a fighting game.
I believe all of them were like in Killer Instinct as like one character, so like they'd like switch off and do different things, which is pretty cool. But I think it would also be good because I know Microsoft here recently announced a Battletoads, a new Battletoads game, so they could use that to try to promote the new Battletoads game, and I think Nintendo would be okay with doing that since they have such a good relationship with Microsoft currently.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're owned by Microsoft, owns Rare, so
yeah. So those are 3 of the ones I have. The last one I have, I didn't write down, but I still have it off the top of my head. And that's, I don't care who, but I would want another Square Enix representative. I'm thinking either Chrono from Chrono Trigger would be a nice one, or even it's really long shot out there, but Gino would be nice as well.
Everyone wanted Gino. Everyone wanted Gino. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I only played Super Mario RPG because of Gino, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pretty cool character, and I like Gino, and I'm sad that he really hasn't been in anything besides Super Mario RPG. So just bring him back, or Sora. I don't care. Sora could be in there too. I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts fan, but a lot of people would really love him.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll move on to Velveeta here to say his 4 if he's ready.
All right. One off the top of my head is Hero from the Dragon Quest series.
Oh yeah, I was thinking about Dragon Quest too.
Yeah, Dragon Quest is really popular in Japan right now because of the new game that just came out for PS4. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see him in that.
I want to interject here, keep a pin on that for a second, because I did remember that traditionally Smash Brothers is made up of characters that are Japan made.
Yeah.
So like they haven't had a single person character that was made in America. So I mean that's why a lot of people are saying they should have Banjo-Kazooie because then they could have an American-made character. And that would also go and benefit though for Hero because he's obviously a Japanese-made character pinned by your boy. Pinned by your boy. I made Goku.
I'm too lazy, so.
And I do want to mention
Mastar's dad.
Hey guys, let's talk about Master Badman, guys.
Master Badman, don't mention in podcast Re. I also would like to mention the fact that the hero from Dragon Quest 3 actually looks kind of like Goku too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, because like
he's made by the same person, but I mean, he has very similar-ish hair, and eyes. Like, just he looks very much like a kid Goku.
No, I mean, with Chrono Trigger as well was also like Akira Toriyama did draw characters for Chrono Trigger as well, so
yeah, you can tell from the Tapion, like
yeah.
Okay,
so you can continue, Velveeta. Sorry, we went on a bit of a tangent there.
Trying to think.
We can come back to you, and we can just like talk about one and then move on, and then we can come back after everyone's said one.
Yeah, I guess just do that.
So, ReJax, who would you want as DLC? Just name the first person that you'd want for Smash.
Maybe, I don't know, because from you were saying, most of them are Japanese. I have 2 that I would want, which is 1, Goku, which would actually be pretty cool. You guys knew that somebody was going to say it.
Shrek, don't forget Shrek, guys. Hey guys, Shrek 2 was on the GameCube, so yeah, it qualifies.
It qualifies. And if Microsoft was nice enough, or whichever company owns Halo right now, I would kind of want to see a Master Chief in there maybe, because I mean they've already got somebody who's used a gun and has hand-to-hand combat training, which is Snake. To see Master Chief in there would actually be a pretty cool addition, because Master Chief's done so much shit.
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I mean, yeah, like he's been in not specifically Master Chief, but a Spartan was in Dead or Alive 4. So
yeah.
So it's possible.
I mean, not just that also, but with Master Chief, like before, I wouldn't be able to see Master Chief because of the fact that he uses guns, and they were trying to censor guns, I guess, in Smash Brothers. But I mean, if you look at it, you got Snake now, and you also have Joker, who also he doesn't use technically a real gun; he uses a toy gun, but it works functionally just like a real gun.
And look at Duck Hunt Dog too; like their final Smash has a ton of people with guns. So
yeah, I mean, like, and I mean they could just take out the guns in the first place, because like Spartans have hand-to-hand combat training that's like no other. They know basically like everything they need.
Yeah. Exactly. Make it a Falcon clone and we're happy. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already have Ganondorf. We don't need we don't need another one. But I mean they could still have like guns. They could use maybe some of the Covenant weapons too.
Yeah, maybe.
The energy sword.
The energy sword would be a nice addition. Maybe if they were to bring in the energy sword, they could do an arbiter.
Yeah. Oh, they could do the arbiter.
They could do the arbiter. That'd be.
I was thinking of like him having like Shulk's like style, how you can switch different forms of combat. Like he's a jack of all trades.
That's actually how I think. That's how I think Joker's gonna work. Honestly, with him being able to switch through personas.
And another thing that I was thinking is that maybe they'll add another Persona character. Because the way that I see it is, since they already put one out, there might be a second one, considering what they're doing.
Yeah, they could. They could bring if they did do that, honestly, I would probably want I can't remember his name. Minato Urasato.
Yeah.
Persona 3. He's really honestly the I'm not gonna say he's the best main character, but he's the best main character. I mean, he's the most powerful one out of all the Persona users. He's the only one to unlock the Universe Arcana. And also he's just really badass looking.
Yeah.
I do have a bias though, since Persona 3 was my first Persona game I played. So
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good. How about you, Deadbolt?
Okay, so on my podcast, I mentioned that Jet from Jet Set Radio should be in Smash, because I said, like, I'm going to be brief with it because I said
rather you watch the podcast.
yeah. I'll just be brief with it. I just said that game needs more representation, and I've noticed a trend that games that like mascots that show up in Smash end up becoming popular. Like look at Fire Emblem, and that with PD Parada becoming a character, it just shows to us that anything's possible. So I said Jet, but I do have two characters I'm actually thinking about in that I came up like recently. One of the characters, I honestly think that a character from League of Legends should be in Smash.
Ooh.
Most specifically, I think it should be either Katarina, Katarina Ezreal, or Lee Sin. I don't know. There's probably multiple choices. It's like, I honestly, my money is gonna be on Katarina. Like, I want to see Katarina be in the game, because her style in League is all about like being an assassin, picking off people, and it'll be spitting for Smash because she can do hand-to-hand combat. She uses her daggers. She can toss them. It's so fitting.
That'd be so awesome.
Yeah,
seeing her
and like
fight Joker.
Yeah, no. Another thing is that maybe considering she disappears, like you said, they could if they added her, they could use a like a disappearing effect. Like she would disappear off the. Like everything, like she wouldn't be anywhere.
Like she can just blink. She blinks actually, but like I can see her kit working. Like, and then like her down smash is like her spin. Like a forward smash is like a dash. Her like neutral B should be tossing her daggers, and then her up B should be a recovery. Like her like trying to propel herself up with her daggers or something, like doing the flying lotus. And then her ultimate smash is that she does her ultimate in League, but it's like a ton of daggers coming towards you. It's like it works because like it can work because they made
For the
a
past
fan,
years.
yeah, they made a fan game of a fighting game out of League, and I'm thinking people are speculating that Riot bought out a company that made a fighting game that's called Rising Thunder, and it's like uses the similar mechanics to League, which it has the cooldown on their specials and all that.
Yeah.
And Riot bought them out, so the people are speculating that they're making a Riot either a new game or a League of Legends fighter, which I really want to see.
Honestly, I've never played League of Legends, but that would be really freaking cool.
It might get people into it though. That's
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would,
I mean, it would
actually.
get me into League of Legends. Like I've people have tried to convince me to play, and I just haven't wanted to. But if it's representation in Smash, then I'll be like, hell yeah.
It's cancerous, but like I really want to see someone from like mostly
Okay, I came from the Call of Duty community. I know what cancerous is.
I know, yeah. Of course, like it's like you get like insulted by every word in the book. At least with Call of Duty, you have amusement. Here, you're trapped for 30 minutes, and you can't escape other than them insulting you. But yeah, another character I was thinking about. It's a little cop out. I honestly think that Zero should be in the game, or someone from Mega Man X specifically. Like I know X shows up in the final Smash, and I know Zero's an assist trophy, but I really want to see one character from Mega Man X to be in it because a lot of people consider X to be better than the original Mega Man series, and in terms of how well the game is played, like I'm a bigger fan of X than Mega Man, honestly, and I really want to see like with X it can work because instead of putting Mega Man, instead of like having him in this final Smash, you put Mega Man as well instead and put it in that spot. Yeah.
All right.
Because I know X has a different kind of moveset, and I really want to see a character like that.
All right, we'll move back over to Velveeta here.
I have my other three chosen. So first, we have the T-Rex from Saurian, which it is, which it is a video game, a character, which it has the strongest bite force of any land animal. So it just looks pretty dank.
Hey, we have Yoshi in the game. We have Bowser and Charizard. What more do you want, man?
We want a fucking T-Rex.
We need an actual dinosaur.
And then we have a actual video game character that is related to Dragon Ball.
Krillin.
We have a Shallot.
No.
Get that out of here. Because we need Kagi Films to voice him for Smash.
If you're gonna do a meme, get a Mastar freaking character in here.
Yeah, get the Father Saint.
Okay, yes, that is my boy.
Okay, I'd be okay with Tien Shinhan.
If Tien...
Wait. This is like probably like the most like probable one because Goku and Vegeta are like past like universal at this point. And like Tien Shinhan, he's like
he's multiplanetary.
Yeah.
I'd say like more than that. I'd say probably like solar system.
If we're getting into this argument, he could kill Frieza because he held off.
I'd say at this point he can kill Cell.
Yeah, no, if he can kill Cell, that means he's multiplanetary.
A Cell is solar system.
We aren't talking about power scaling here.
I was about to say, like, if they put Tien in there instead of Goku or Vegeta, everyone would fucking go crazy.
Yeah, Tien, his basic attack is his shoulders growing.
But it would be the most probable.
Go talk to Seth the programmer if you want to talk about power scaling.
If you put him in Smash, at least then that means Tien will get his own episode.
Yeah.
Get his own series.
Yeah.
His basic attack is his shoulders growing.
Okay, well, Emily has sent 4 characters that she would want.
Oh, I was thinking about Cuphead.
If Cuphead is one of them, since you guys said it before I could talk about that one.
Sorry.
Cuphead, honestly, I would I'd like Cuphead if they did a certain style with him. Correct.
I mean, he'll be played similar like Mega Man. No, he'll be like a clone of Mega Man.
Honestly, well, I mean, maybe he could be. Yeah, he'd probably be somewhat of a clone-ish.
Because they're both the similar genres. That's why.
Yeah, but I do have to say with Cuphead, I think it would be cool if they did very similar to Game & Watch, how he's a flat character with like that. So I think it would be cool if they just had hand-drawn Cuphead, just walking around doing his fighting, and like he was flat because he's hand-drawn.
You know how expensive he would be then?
Yeah, he'd be pretty expensive, but I
mean, it's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. The next one that she mentioned is I'll go back from the beginning here because you skipped to Banjo-Kazooie. A lot of people have discussed Banjo-Kazooie, and honestly, I think Banjo-Kazooie should be in as well, and I think they have a high likelihood. Honestly, after seeing Joker get in, I think they have a high likelihood of getting in. I think I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, but I think honestly they're gonna try to get a representative from PlayStation, which would be good luck. As much as I don't want to say it's necessarily PlayStation rep, but he is PlayStation exclusive. Joker would be the PlayStation one, and maybe Banjo would be the Xbox exclusive character.
I was gonna say it's like, well, I mean, Microsoft is having a good relationship with Nintendo, especially how they released Minecraft on their consoles.
Yeah,
and I can see being more possible with Banjo-Kazooie because of that.
Especially since the president of Xbox or whatever, the one who the dude who guns it, I don't remember his name. He has said multiple times that he would love to have Banjo-Kazooie in Smash.
Yeah, that's good.
The next one that she has here is Tails. I'm assuming Tails from Sonic, not anyone else named Tails. I don't know. That joke fell flat like me after my wife left me.
Like Cuphead.
Cuphead's a pretty good game. I like it. Shots fired at Cuphead. Tails. I think honestly, Tails could be a pretty interesting character. Some people would say that he might have had a better chance with being an Echo, but he has enough diversity from Sonic to be not an Echo fighter. I mean,
he
uses gadgets. He can fly unlike Sonic, which would be a great way to have a better recovery than Sonic's Spring. Which, no offense to Sonic Spring, I love Sonic. I main Sonic in Smash 4. But I think Tails had personally, I think Tails' opportunity of potentially being in has been cut by Joker being in the game, because he's yet another character that is owned by Sega being in the game, and I don't think they're gonna have yet another Sega character in, sadly. But I mean, it's always possible. Who knows? And the last one here is Marks, who I am assuming is the Kirby character.
Yeah, he's the one of the final bosses in he's the final boss in Superstar.
Okay, yeah. I've never played Kirby, honestly. So if you, I don't know if you have Deadbolt.
I have, yeah. He's only in Kirby Superstar. I mean, he would put Marks in there, but I feel like Sakurai doesn't want to feel biased towards his franchise because it makes sense.
Sakurai's not working on the DLC. It's Nintendo.
Oh, Nintendo. Okay, then. I mean, it doesn't like Sakurai have the final say, right?
Nintendo gives the suggestion. Sakurai says yes or no.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's gonna be like, he's probably gonna deny it because it made sense with DDD and Meta Knight because there's our flagship characters, whereas Marks only appeared in like one game.
I could see Waddle Dee more likely than Marks.
Yeah, honestly, but
I mean, I think the one thing that Marks has going for him is that they've released a lot of villains here in this Smash game, so adding another villain would be pretty cool. So it looks like that is it for that topic, unless we would like to discuss anything more with the Smash Brothers DLC. Personally, I would like to. I almost forgot to mention something, but I completely forgot to mention it, and I can't remember it now. So I'll let you say something because you were about to talk.
Yeah, I just like to add one thing on the T-Rex for Smash.
They have eyesight that can see up to 6 km. So yeah, that's a pretty good.
That would probably be a hindrance on a battlefield that you're going to be fighting on in Smash.
You know who they should add in Smash? Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, bro.
That would be, he would be going everywhere. He'd be flying, dude.
Like, they had this game in N64, so it counts. It's Sans.
Sans.
Well, I mean, yes.
If you say that, I will remove you from this.
Well, guys, Sans is Ness, guys. Pat said it. Sans is Ness.
I will Thanos you out of this podcast if you say
Thanos. It's Thanos.
Whatever.
Thanos.
I like Toost.
Noose.
Big Chin. I will Big Chin you out of this. I will game into you if you say that name again. Dunspouse would be cool.
Put Meta Knights, the people from the Kirby Backpack Gacha anime. Put those characters in.
Put those those robots from the old Sonic the Hedgehog TV show. Yeah, put them in there.
For Smash.
Actually, instead. Actually, correction. I think they should put Dr. Robotnik from that old cartoon in there, so I can hear him say "pingus" and just that old meme.
Usual.
Swear to God, that meme is older than some people who are probably going to be watching this podcast. All right, so what was the other topic we're going to be talking about? The oversaturation of first-person shooters or whatever?
We were talking about that. It's like the reason why a lot of kids enjoy it is because it's so fast-paced and not a lot of kids. And they want to keep playing it. It's like it's something different. It's like more like, especially with cartoons now. It's evident with cartoons is that like kids like shows like SpongeBob are evident because it's so fast-paced in terms of their jokes and slapstick.
Yeah.
And that it's just so successful and ended up becoming a long-running cartoon show. That's why they kind of dumbed down the humor, because they wanted to appeal to children. Like when everyone left, there's like, okay, we'll just dumb it down, and that's what kids like.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but R.A.P. Stephen Hill.
Hillenberg, yeah.
Yeah. We'll have we'll have a moment of silence for him here. All right, I think that should be good. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like cartoons nowadays are definitely more fast-paced, and I'd say a little bit more random, but that's less to do with the whole first-person shooter thing. Because if you look at it, you have first-person shooters like Call of Duty, which are trying to find new ways to make the game more fast-paced every single iteration.
Yeah.
Whether it be through like dumb exosuits, which are dumb and stupid, or just making the game broken like Black Ops 4.
Yeah. No, but I like kids now, because like the kids nowadays are going to be the next generation. Like by the time that they're our age, I doubt that most of the games that they play now are going to be there, unless it's like Black Ops, because Black Ops is a huge corporation, and Persona, I would say, is big in itself, but it isn't as popular. Like in Japan, probably like more people like it in Japan than they do in America. I'm not saying that it won't show up. It's just like in America, it changes faster. People like different things more in America than they do over in Japan. Because in Japan, it's more focused on anime and other things like that, because that's what their culture is built off of, more than in America, where the culture is built off of fast-paced shooting, other things like that. The only people that are going to be buying Persona are people that are, our age, higher than at least 15 years old as of this point.
I think, first of all, I want to mention that I did look it up a while ago. Persona 5 has sold 2 million copies worldwide. Yeah. But I also think that honestly Smash Brothers is going to help with that, with getting more people interested in games like Persona. It's going to get more kids thinking, oh, who's this character from? I mean, they won't play Persona because, Persona's an M game. But they probably will be. Come on, these are the same kids that play Call of Duty. But
and GTA.
Yeah, and GTA.
Yeah, yeah.
But the point is, they'll get them more interested in games like that, and with games like Persona, they're so well made and well developed that, like, I mean, I'm going to use an example of a YouTuber here, ReJaxRejectYT. He's a Smash Brothers YouTuber, and he has talked about how he doesn't like RPGs, JRPGs or turn-based RPGs or anything like that. He finds the combat boring. But Persona has somehow managed to make it so that, yes, the combat is boring, but it's less boring, and also it has other aspects to the game that help tie into the combat to make it so that, like, really, whenever you, like, not fighting, you're still doing something to help improve, like, that means something. It's not like you're just doing something meaningless.
Yeah, yeah. I understand.
And honestly, like, I'm going to be sounding like a complete loser here, but I like Persona because of the fact that, like, the social links, it makes you feel like you really truly like interacting with the characters, because they did a great job of making these characters realistic, and how they interact with different things, and how they and just different aspects of the characters. They made them very realistic and believable people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, nowadays most games will not get close, but they'll at least get 1 million copies sold. And Persona does get a lot, but in America, 2 million's like nothing. 2 million people in America is like probably like maybe two, 3 states. And that's
sorry.
yeah,
I
Daddy
just want to mention Daddy 05 for Smash. He'll be abusing the competition.
Actually, fun fact: Daddy 05 like lives around my area. Well, I don't know if he still does, but he used to live around my area.
My condolences, dude.
Yeah.
And I also want to mention that something that Emily said that I completely spaced on the fact that Persona 5 is a very flashy, and like the stylization of Persona 5 is just such a great thing, and like people everywhere have been heralding. Even Sakurai himself had a whole like blog post where he just talked about how good the UI is, and how he based the UI of Smash Ultimate off of the UI from Persona 5, because it's so well made.
Yeah, I understand. But like if you let's say you give a kid Persona 5 whenever they're growing up, and that's all they really play is Persona and other things like that, games that take that type of skill and other things like that. And then you give a different kid Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and they play any games that are FPS and stuff like that. Kids nowadays in America are playing more of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So that means that that's what they're going to be more looking for whenever they get older. So if we were to give every kid in America Persona right now, they would probably check it out, think it's like, oh, okay. And then they'll probably go straight back to Black Ops 4 or Fortnite or something else. Like, it depends on what you grow up with. Like, I grew up with basically just playing Halo 3 and other things like that. Not really that big competitive. Not like how today everybody gets online and talks with everyone. I never got to do that. For the most part, I played with AIs in my time. And it was more focused on just having fun with the game. Kind of like with Persona. You're just there to have fun with the game, see what you can do with it. But nowadays, Fortnite allows you to talk with people. Fortnite's massively multiplayer. It's basically you could do whatever you want in there right now. But that's not what we grew up with. So that's why we see a difference in everything. And that's why I'm trying to say that it doesn't matter if it's a big game now. In 12 years, if they don't do something about it, kind of like what they're doing with the Smash Bros, they're trying to put it in a game that's more relevant. So that's why, I haven't seen another game about Persona in a long time. Or I think how long ago was the last one? 2 years? Maybe
Actually,
3?
the dancing game just came out like a month ago at most.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd never heard about it. And I've never seen anything on YouTube
Persona
that was
Q
big.
is coming out in Japan. I think this year. Either it already has come out or it's coming out later next year.
The important thing to say though, coming out in Japan,
which is still being. It's going to be localized.
100%. Yeah. It's
just
yeah.
It's just neat that it's supposed to release still.
Yeah, it's supposed to be released in Japan, which means that they're starting to notice that games like Persona don't really go together with today's kids.
I mean, okay, Pokemon games back when Pokemon was like huge.
Yeah,
even those were released in Japan first because it's just how the gaming industry typically is. There, typically they release the games there before they localize them. It's very rare that you'll have one localized worldwide, and it's usually just a good game like Smash or the new Pokemon games who are doing that because they realize that it's a little scummy to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, you specified in Japan, so I thought you meant like that's where it's going to stay. So
no, it's just
okay. So it's going to be coming out. It's going to be coming out here. Okay.
Yeah, it's an inevitability. Persona's a big enough demand here in America, despite what some people think. It is a big enough demand. If Persona 4 and its several spin-offs and everything got localized, then Persona 5 is definitely going to, since it's such a bigger game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know how to say this without trying to copy myself over again. Crap. Like, we might like Pokemon. Yeah, okay. Now I know where I'm going with this. Pokemon, like you said, we grew up with Pokemon and other things like that, and those games were focused on AI. You interacted with in-game characters. Today, I'm kind of getting off by myself again, trying to say the same thing, but I just want to put this down, is that kids nowadays will just want online interaction. They want to talk to people. They want to get out there and have their voices heard by others that are not just AI and not be, just talking to something that they know is not real. And for the most part, I understand what that goes from, but if they do not grow up without, they don't, good stories and other things like that aren't as important nowadays.
Shout out to Emily for saying that.
Shout out to Emily. Yeah, Emily said that they don't care about good development. They don't care about character development. Dragon Ball Z, Xenoverse, nobody really cared about the story.
Well, even good development in regards to game development. Like, I mean, you got games like Call of Duty, or even I don't know, like Bethesda games that are usually
Destiny.
Destiny, that are just terribly made games. Honestly, 100%. Like, they're terribly made. They do scummy things, and people don't care. But when a good game comes out, like Persona 5, the newer kids don't really talk about it that much. But it's up. I think it's more up to the people who are older to be able to teach them that why this is stupid and why they shouldn't do that and why they should support this type of toxic environment in the gaming community. Yeah,
like, I believe that we should stop pushing towards just online interactions and like multiplayer massively and start focusing into narrative games, which Prince gave me, and other things like that. And because, like, you guys remember Xenoverse, right? The first one. You guys remember how hyped everybody was for it and was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a really good game.
Yeah.
Nobody cared about the story. Everybody cared about the customization and being able to do what you want with your character and all that. And after that point, everything died for that game. Because if they do not have a good story for the game, although it's not as important, it's still a very big factor considering what the game's based around, which is Dragon Ball Z.
Prince. Which I feel like they kind of fixed that in Xenoverse 2 because because they're going for more like a Dragon Ball Heroes and like Dragon Ball Online a concept with the Few character because he was like a Dragon Ball Online character.
Yeah, and I think with Xenoverse they've been able to keep at least somewhat of a stable group because of the fact that it's competitive in regards to fighting, even though the servers are garbage. At least they're able to have competitive.
Yeah, everybody can agree on that one.
they're able to at least have competitive fights and have people still play it because of that. Which, I'm not gonna dog on the game necessarily because it has like a competitive scene, but I'm talking more about like the games that are clearly poorly made and they don't like I don't know, Call of Duty, which it has a competitive scene, but really, I mean, I'm not gonna watch any Call of Duty fights. I'd much rather watch Xenoverse fights than Call of Duty ones.
Exactly. It's more interactive whenever you're watching a Xenoverse fight than if you're watching a Black Ops fight. And
it all comes down to, yet again, something that Emily mentioned back with Persona, the visuals. It's because the visuals in Xenoverse, they pop.
Yeah, they actually show out. Nice. And like yeah, Prince.
Yeah, that's because I guess Dragon Ball, it
looks nice.
Like the whole thing is supposed to look like all like colorful and like jumpy, and while a Call of Duty is more like a realistic-ish,
if we can even say that.
Yeah, but it was obviously like designed to like,
I mean, I'm not trying
kind of like model after like more, not like real life, but like
more realistic character models and concepts.
Yeah, which makes it more like desaturated than a cartoony like fighting franchise.
Yeah, like another thing is that most people really like the Mortal Kombat series, and even kids nowadays really like it. That's mostly due to the fact that it's more of a realistic game. Like not realistic. It's more of a depressing, you could say, heavy quotations.
It's darker.
Yeah, it's darker.
Desaturated.
Yeah, and it's like, and that's mostly because the combat is faster than most fighting games. Yeah, and Fortnite also takes a lot less skill. Like I've played Fortnite before. Don't really like the game, honestly. Just kind of play it just to play it because I need footage for it, and it's kind of popular. But honestly, kids nowadays.
I think I'll mention. Sorry, I just.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah.
But I think I'll mention. First of all, shout out to Emily for the Fortnite takes less skill comment. I think what she's trying to mean by this is not just Fortnite in general, because I know that Fortnite takes like absolutely no skill because it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's taking less and less skill as it goes on because it's more about because they want the kid fan base to feel good when they get a kill. But I think that it's also I think I'm using the word correctly when I say indicative of other games in general nowadays, where they try to make it less about skill and more about just making the player feel like they're actually doing good when realistically they are.
Like they're an actual badass.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm perfectly fine with making you feel like that in a single player game where like it's a story driven thing. Yeah, you should be feeling like the Dragonborn when you're playing through Skyrim.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't, I guess, in Call of Duty, you shouldn't
be feeling MLG whenever you get one kill.
Yeah, you shouldn't be feeling MLG because you stomped a bunch of kids because the spawns were so garbage. Yeah. Like, it's almost like these games are designed to make these kids that play them feel like they actually are better than they really are.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you mentioned with Mortal Kombat, actually the reason why a lot of people enjoy Mortal Kombat compared to other fighting games, it's because not because of its like fast-paced nature, it's because it's a much easier game to pick up because with the dial-up combos as well as the simple inputs, it allows people and its appeal, it allows people to get into it.
Because definitely.
It's mechanics don't take that much as compared to like something like Street Fighter. Like Street Fighter is a much faster game, but it's much harder to get into because you have to be so precise, like frame perfect, if you want to do it well. So it has its niche thing, but
yeah. Well, I mean, we didn't get into that portion, but yeah, you're correct. For the most part, that is one of the things that actually pulls people towards it, which also goes along with it takes less skill. The easier the game it is to pick up, the easier it is to play it and the easier it is to win. Although Mortal Kombat does take quite a bit of time to learn in the beginning, it's not as hard whenever you get past that. Because, I mean, I used to play with this kid that just basically just sat in a corner and button mashed the entire time, just waiting for me to go over towards him. And I just quit after that point because, like, it takes no skill to win that after that point. Doesn't make the game fun, doesn't make the game do anything.
I think Emily brought up a good point here that we could talk about if we want to. If we're finished with this, or when we're finished with this, we could talk about that because I think that's a really good topic to talk about.
Yeah.
So, are we good on this topic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about cinematic universes in movies. Like, I mean, I guess the whole cinematic universe idea was really made a thing with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
They really popularized the idea, and after the Avengers, it really took off. And I think with Marvel, they're the only ones so far to really be able to do a cinematic universe properly.
Yeah. DC tried, but like their cinematic, like their movies are not as good as their TV shows. Cause like the TV shows are made by CW and not like the people who make the movies, so of course they're gonna be different. And yeah, like the Marvel movies are like way better in a quality and a story and like how they execute it.
Yeah. And I think another thing that a lot of companies don't really pay attention to is how Marvel built up to this point over time. They think they can just jump right in and make a cinematic universe, like Universal, the monster movies that they try to do with the Mummy. They try to make a dark universe or whatever that's a cinematic universe with all of their classic Universal monsters, but they rushed into the idea of a Universal cinematic universe way too quick. The first movie, The Mummy, had like a huge portion of it that was talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, for an example. And even I think DC has a problem with this, where they want to have a cinematic universe, but they don't want to have the time to set up the universe and build up the characters.
Yeah, and like kind of like the kaiju. You guys know what kaiju is, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah. That's the real cinematic universe, I guess.
Yeah, that's where it all started out of. Like that was actual based in fan kind of stuff, because like most people wanted it to happen. That is the one thing that everybody can agree to, I'm pretty sure, is that cinematic universe was wanted ever since it first came out that kaiju were a thing in movies and stuff. Because like everybody wanted to see Godzilla fight not Donkey Kong. I was about to say King Kong.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got movies from like the 1980s and stuff that are on that type of things. Or I don't know. I don't remember what time King Kong and all that came out of.
Yeah, I don't remember what time, but really, now that you mentioned that, it also reminds me of they were making a new Godzilla movie too.
Yeah.
With I think it showed off King Ghidorah, Rodan, Godzilla, and Mothra. I think were the ones that they had in the trailer.
I think they might be able to add those in better than they did in the older movies.
Only 3 of the Justice League members had a movie prior to the Justice League. Thank you, Emily.
It was Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flash didn't have one.
He was supposed to get one, right?
Which kind of is kind of foreshadowing, considering, you know, all 3 of them were basically the main characters of Injustice. Or wait, which one was it?
Although the Flash TV show like started like before the Justice League movie.
Yeah, but did they use the same actor for Flash?
No, the actor in the movie I think I forget who.
They didn't use the
totally
same
different.
actor, if that's what you're asking. No,
Yeah.
they didn't. They used a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I don't want to consider it then.
They have released trailers for Aquaman.
Yeah, I saw
think-
those.
I don't think
Yeah, I haven't
Aquaman's
seen
gonna be
those.
good. I'm just gonna admit it. I don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
But I do
yeah,
think
yeah.
I do have high hopes for the Shazam movie
Mm-hmm.
because it looks like it's gonna be a little more of a light-hearted movie.
Is it the Shazam movie with Sinbad
or
or Kazam with Shaq?
no, it's Shazam.
No, I was just joking. I was making a joke.
Oh, okay.
Whoever he had.
that joke went right over me. That's Shaq Fu.
No, because Shaq was in a movie called Kazam, and people thought that Sinbad was in a genie movie called Shazam, but it turned out to be a hoax. So that's why I brought it up.
I hope they actually, for the Shazam movie, they actually show him turning into the kid.
Oh yeah.
That would actually be kind of interesting because that would be kind of like a nod to the comics because actually during the Injustice war or something stuff and all that, he actually was transformed back into the kid.
That could be pretty cool for like every superhero movie needs to have like the little point where the superhero comes back. I think that's probably going to be what happens.
Yeah.
He ends up losing his powers and he has to get him back before he can save the world or something.
Yeah.
But I honestly, cinematic universes overall. What is your guys' opinion on them? Because I think overall they, as much as I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I don't think that they're going to be helping anything. I think they're going to be making it, if anything, movie experiences worse.
I was gonna say that too. Like, I honestly feel like the superhero genre now is so oversaturated, and that's thanks to the cinematic universe. It's because the problem I have with those movies is that if you want to understand everything, you have to watch every character's origin story, and it correlates to all that. You have to watch every movie in order. Like with the kaiju films, they just did it, those crossovers, because they just did it. Anyone can watch a specific crossover and not get confused because it's just what it is. It's just a fight. Yeah,
it's just everybody wanted to see what they want.
It's like, honestly, and because of that, that means that they're restricted to one thing in writing the plot. And I'm not saying that their plots are bad or anything, but I honestly would prefer if they would develop their own individual plot. Like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies were like memorable because it's so different compared to any other superhero movie, as well as X-Men and Dark Knight. That's what I want movies to see as superheroes, as like something different compared to like just straight up a comic book.
Yeah, it wasn't the one. It wasn't the Spider-Man movies you were talking about. The one where he fought Sandman and almost got killed.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish it was. Yeah. Actually, there is the whole. We can't talk about that, I guess. The Deji and KSI thing that's going on.
I have no knowledge of that, so I'm not going to give my words.
I don't. I don't think we should give them the light of day anymore. KSI used to be so much cooler. Honest to God.
Yeah, he used to be so much cooler when he was making FIFA videos.
No, I mean, even before that, like way back when, where he was a small gaming channel, he used to be the coolest dude ever. Oh God!
But now his ego is bigger than Master's.
Yeah, like way too big. I mean,
the reason why he did the boxing match is because it's a win-win for him. He gets paid for it.
Yeah, he gets beat the shit out of, but he gets paid.
Yeah, of course. That's why they did the tie, because they want that hero.
They want more people to watch the second fight, which never happened because nobody wanted to see another one because everybody wanted a refund.
Yep. Wait, did they actually cancel the second one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
I think they're contractually obligated for the second one.
Shoutouts to Emily saying if only Mostar wasn't a dead horse. Well, go to our server and I have a certificate in case you ever come across that. I'll post it in chat. I'll give it to you. Just give me 1 second. I know Vegeta or Velveeta has it. I made it myself. Because a lot of people join in and it's like, oh, Mastar, bad man. I don't like him. I'm like, it's understandable if you join the server.
Which man bad?
Yeah, it's understandable if
crap, you posted it before me.
I'm gonna save this to images.
I've got to make sure to put this like in the podcast. Like,
yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Is like when someone just talks about Mostar for no reason, then I just give him that. Be like, chill, man. Like, no one cares. It's a dead horse. Don't beat it.
The only reason I got the award is because I saw him and I came into the chat.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's that it's understandable if you join the server and you talk about Mostar, because that's a reason why people join, is because they saw Clothespin's Mostar video.
Yeah.
But and if he does something stupid, or if he does something that's like worth talking about, it's like, yo, Mostar did this. I understand that. But if you'd be like, haha, Mostar Trace Star, guys, I'm already Tracer, haha, guys, who doesn't like Mostar? I'm like, just no, stop. Just be clever. Be more clever, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, Emily.
We could talk about that.
We can talk about that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So Emily has mentioned a video that Clothespin, a friend of mine. Hopefully, he considers me a friend.
No.
Yeah,
he thinks you're a faggot. No, he thinks you're a faggot. He says, no way. Killer Queen's too gay, and that would...
Look at him with his 3 subs. What a loser.
No, it's Killer Queen is too cute for me.
One of them
be next to him because that'll make me gay. I'm afraid I'll like him.
But she mentioned a video by him where he talked about something that Mastar said, in which he was talking about how he was bullied growing up for liking anime. And it's something that Clothespin, and I think everyone who's watched anime can agree to, because there's a lot of us out there that have been bullied for simply liking anime. And I think it's something that we should, a lot more people should be talking about and voicing up about. I mean, a lot of people already do, but it's something that if we can voice up and talk about it, then, less people will be affected, as like it'll help. Like Clothespin said in his video. You should watch the video, by the way, guys. Watch his video.
Please.
please watch his video. Then maybe Senpai will talk to me again.
Maybe
my wife will come back.
my wife bullied me.
Kids.
My wife bullied me.
Spoiler alert, my wife is Clothespin.
Oh
geez.
That freaking fetus.
But I think I'll share a little bit of my story growing up about being bullied for liking anime. I was in elementary school. I liked Dragon Ball Z, and I liked Dragon Ball Z. I liked Bleach. Not the delicious beverage Bleach. That's what I like now. I'm talking about the anime, guys. I liked a bunch of things like that. I liked it's not really an anime, I guess, but I liked Sonic X as well. I was one of those kids that you'd see running around on the playground with his freaking arms behind his back, like he's running in freaking Naruto or something. But I didn't do it because of Naruto. I was like, I like Sonic X, so I was like, I'm gonna run like Sonic. He looks cool when he runs, and yeah, I looked really stupid when I ran. But I was made fun of a lot for that, especially since me and a couple of my friends that also liked Dragon Ball. We'd play everyone would be outside playing basketball or tag or something, and me and my friends would be outside playing freaking Dragon Ball Z, act like we're shooting Kamehamehas at each other and fighting. And I guess really that makes me the actual archetype that would be bullied. But that's I mean, I was made fun of for the fact that I liked anime, and it was watching anime was a hobby of mine. It made me feel good watching anime. And growing up, I've had through high school and middle school, it was more of the same people bullying me. But luckily, through middle school, I was able to find a group of people who I was able to connect with because of the fact that they liked anime. Prior to that, I only had Emily, her sister, and some other smaller group of friends that liked anime.
Yeah.
And I got a slightly bigger group in middle school, and then high school came around, and almost all the people that I befriended in middle school didn't go to high school. So I was all alone at high school, and then I ended up going online. So mainly because online for health reasons, and also because I was bullied so much, I just decided to leave high school and go online school. And I don't want people to have to go through the experiences that I have of being bullied and feeling that it's a better option to just go somewhere else than go to school. Since I mean, I went to online school, and I think it made me even worse with my ability to speak with people.
Honestly, I can agree with you, but I'm from a different story. Okay, so I'm not a huge fan of anime. I mean, I appreciate anime and all that, and I'll watch it from time to time, but I wouldn't consider myself something like an anime enthusiast, because I'm not. I just don't watch it. I read more mangas than anime, so. But I am a huge. I love playing video games. Like ever since as a kid, my dad got me a GameCube, and that was like one of my favorite consoles growing up. But honestly, growing up though in school, I was honestly bullied a lot too. I was considered the weird kid because. Now I was considered the weird kid because I liked video games and I love to share my enthusiasm with other people. To show them my passion and all that. And I've been bullied a lot because not a lot of people could relate. And it's like, look at this fucking weirdo. Like, it's like this guy is obsessed with video games. What a fucking nerd. Like,
can I? I'll let you speak. I just want to say, just in case somebody ever is listening to the podcast, if you heard us laughing, we weren't laughing at the story. We were laughing at something Emily put. I won't say it because I don't want to get completely wrecked by the YouTube algorithm for saying that.
Cornhub. It's Cornhub.
Yeah, it's corn.
Cornfields.
Cornfields.
But okay, you can continue, Deadbolt. Sorry.
All right, so thank you for fucking ruining my story. Okay, no.
Yeah, Jesus.
He was talking about depression.
No. All right, it's depression, guys. Let's get depressed. All right, so I was considered the weird kid, and I didn't have many friends growing up. Like, it's because of that. It's because of that I have social anxiety because I wasn't. Not only did I struggle, like fitting in at my at school, I was struggling fitting in my own house because no one understood my passion of video games. They just thought it was just a dumb old thing that he's gonna get addicted to. They didn't realize that was the only thing that can help me cope with addiction. I even told my mom that she finally understands, but no one understood it. Like my cousin, my sister, they had a tendency of breaking my games just to get in my head because they knew how passionate I was. And I was just like, I just couldn't socialize with anyone because no one would relate. Even in high school, I met a couple of people who were into video games. I just couldn't be friends with them either, even if we shared the same hobbies, because the social anxiety just got into me and I just couldn't talk to anyone. I'm like, if you just see me out in public, I'm a huge introvert, and I prefer it that way because I like being by myself. Because growing up and all that, and like I told my mom recently, she's like, "Oh, because my sister and my cousin don't live with us anymore. It's just her." And I promised, like I stayed because I wanted to take care of my mom because she took care of me. And one time I had like a meltdown, and I ended up like going crazy. I wanted to commit suicide, and my friend intervened, like an online friend, and he called the police on me, and they got police to send me help, which I still thank you, Kane. If you're ever watching this one day, thank you. I still want to give you my thanks, because no one has ever helped me through that depression, that level of suicide. Like when I told people I was feeling suicidal, that's when they stopped being my friend. So yeah.
That kind of feels like leaving the wagon.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like I told my mom I was just feeling sick because I got hit by a car, and like I think the same month I got hit by a car, and then a month later I started feeling really suicidal because I couldn't find a job, and I ended up going to get mental help, and it didn't help me because for whatever reason now when I get depressed I get pissed off, but I'm just going on a tangent here. But I told my mom, she was like, "Well, where were you been? Where have you been? You've been gone for like a week." I'm like, "Yeah, I want to tell you something. I wasn't sick. I wasn't feeling bad. I just felt really depressed, and I wanted to let you know that I wanted to kill myself. And the only reason why I didn't was because my friend talked me out of it." And she was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like, "Why were you feeling that? You never felt that way before." It's because back in the day, when I was a kid, I used to grow up playing video games. You knew that. You didn't approve of it first, but I just grew up playing a lot of video games, and the reason why is because I got bullied a lot, and that I love playing video games. So the only thing that helped me cope with that was playing video games, because honestly, if it wasn't for that, I would have been dead. Like, none of you guys would have been talking to me, because I would have committed suicide. Like, I remember every day at like 5th grade, because that's the like 5th grade or 3rd grade, like elementary school to middle school, I would just run home, plug in my Xbox or plug in my GameCube, and just play some Sonic. And that just helped me like go through all of my problems. Like, and it's just, I just give children nowadays. I'm just talking to children. I'm like, you guys have it so easy now, not because like, oh yeah, because it's more accessible. It's because people view video games as an actual hobby now. Back then, people thought it was just some stupid gimmick, and that like it's just gonna rot your fucking brain. But no, it's an actual hobby, and there's organizations making making it competitive, and I can love the way it's progressing now, and people are viewing it as a way to see it. Like, if people are making fun of that, people calling it an addiction, because of course it's gonna be an addiction. Everything is an addiction. Like, you can eat like toilet paper and get addicted to that.
You can do the Tiger Woods instance and say you have sex addiction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just I tell them, it's like people who like Fortnite. Yeah, you shouldn't. You can make fun of kids for you can make fun of Fortnite, but you shouldn't bully kids for liking it.
Yeah, like kind of like what Clothespin said.
Yeah, it's
Clothespin and Penguins though.
Yeah, critical. Like, that's why I brought it up, because it's like they're just there because they love that. Because you were a kid, you did the same exact thing. Yeah. It's just the reason why people hate it. It's because it's popular, and you guys are just growing older. It's just I work at a Walmart. I work outside, and I see a ton of kids back, like a couple months back, love to do Fortnite dances and all that. I think it's cringy. Yeah, it's just that they just idolize the game so much, and they love it, and people just accept it. If I did that when I was a kid, my mom would smack the shit out of me, straight up.
Yeah, I on the topic of depression, and I want to say I can relate heavily with all of that. I recently have been going through tough times, and I think it was like I want to say 4 months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I was going through something really, really bad, and like I felt like killing myself before. It's gone through my head a lot before, but I've never told my parents about it, and I've always been able to try to hide it from my parents, but I couldn't hold it anymore, and my parents could tell that something was wrong, and they kept asking me, and I kept telling them that nothing was wrong, and eventually I just broke down and I told them, and like now my parents they did it with, I mean, my mom, I overheard her talking to my dad. My dad said that I need to get some help because he knows that I need to get like medical help. I need to go see a doctor about my depression. He knows that. My mom doesn't want to do that because she's afraid of she's afraid that it could potentially limit the job opportunities I'm currently looking for, as well as she has her own alternative idea of sending me to church and making me feel better, which I'm just gonna say right now, I'm a Christian, 100%.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it's fine. I mean, I don't think though it's gonna help all of a sudden change and cure depression, because I think I need medical attention. For it, and I know that, and my dad knows that, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get it. And up until recently, I haven't been able to get it because I have been uninsured, due to my mom having to switch jobs constantly. But I'm finally insured, and hopefully now I can get some help.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, I told my mom as well. She's like, I told her, like, one of my dreams was that as a kid, I wanted to make a YouTube channel devoted for video games, and my mom laughed it off because she's like, "Oh, that's stupid. Like, you're just wasting your fucking time." I'm like, I just want to do it as a hobby. Can you think you can help me out? I'll support you. I'll even try to get a job. He's like, hell to the fucking no. But now I just got the money, I got the funds to get me the equipment, and I've started making my own videos based on video games. And like, my mom's actually, fun fact, she's actually subscribed to me. I don't know if she watches my videos, but she's like, "Yo, Junior, I've been watching." She calls me Junior. She's like, "Oh, I've been watching your videos, man. They look really good." I was like, "Yeah, I asked you, I wanted to get invested to that, and you said no. It would probably help me out in the longer run if I did that, if I started earlier." But
shout out to Deadbolt's mom.
Yeah. Yeah, she was so indifferent, but now she's more understanding because everyone left, and she's like, "Oh, the one person I treated so differently, he still stayed because he's loyal."
Yeah.
I mean, my mom subscribed to my gaming channel, not subscribed to my main channel because, she wouldn't approve of my swearing. Come on,
Yeah,
she'd say I'm cussing like a sailor online.
Like I'm so pissed. That's why I'm like a little pissed off for my sisters, because my mom did so much for her. Like, we both made mistakes we're not proud of. And my mom has forgiven my sister so many times, and my sister is like, "Nah, I don't want to talk to you anymore." I'm like, "Really?" Even though you put me through that same guilt trip saying that, like, she took care of me, she did the same thing to you, My dad, he lives in Mexico. He was sent to prison for personal reasons, but my sister refuses to talk to my dad because what he's done. And I'm like, "Really?" Because I remember my dad used to spoil the shit out of her. And like, I don't know why you're acting like that. Like, because they have a tendency, it kind of runs in my family, that like if they don't find any use for you, then they won't talk to you. I've noticed that around people too. And like, that's why she doesn't talk to any of us. I'm not that type of person. No, I will still be a friend. I will still talk to you, even if you serve no purpose to me. Just the notion that we can just spend the time together. That's all I want. I don't ask anything. It's a perk that if you can help me out, but most of the time I like doing it myself. Probably. Like, recently, my car broke down, and it's kind of like a struggle because none of the people found me useful to be their friend, and I couldn't and I had to get my mom out there, like wake her up literally to help me take my car out and jumpstart it in the middle of like 1 in the fucking morning, and I was like so embarrassed.
Double shout out to your mom for being the real MVP.
Yeah, I told her. She's like, "Thank you so much." She's like, "Yeah, we're gonna try getting it fixed." I was like, "Yeah," because like over time she's just realized how much depressed I got, and like she's more understanding because she's like, "I've been getting depressed too." I'm like, "Yes, you know how I feel when I was a kid."
I don't want to cut you off, but I do want to mention this before we get too off topic. Emily wanted us to say what her opinion is with the clothespin video that got us onto this tangent. She said that she liked the video, and that she was bullied for liking stuff that guys typically would like, and also liking anime. But eventually she was able to work. She started working out. She got strong, and she was strong enough to now floor any of the people that if they messed with her, then she'd knock them out.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that. I'm not fit. I'm fucking fat as shit. Fuck that.
No, but
like, I was a huge I'm sorry if I cut you off, but
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, as a kid, I was a huge pacifist too. I didn't believe that like I believe eye for an eye sometimes, but honestly, I didn't believe like I don't like I know people used to bully me in my house and all that, and like honestly, the sole reason why some of my consoles were broken was because I defended myself, and I was taught not to do it because there's consequences. And I like growing up, I'm just a pacifist because I even took karate classes and did wrestling, and I still was a pacifist because I just don't believe like hurting people was the option. I don't know. I've told people this. I told people this, but this is gonna be a first time. Oh yeah, Deadbolt's revealing crazy stuff. He's a psychopath. But I've actually was thinking about becoming a school shooter. I even told one of my coworkers who went to the opposite school that I was originally gonna go. I told them like if I went to your school, I would have shot it up immediately. Because there's a lot of my bullies went to that school, and they still bullied me in high school, but like cyberbullied me. But it was just cyberbullying, and I was like, "You fucking pussy." But
I put that in the tags.
Yeah, I told them, I know I'm gonna get it demonetized, but I just told them it's like if I went to your fucking high school, I would have shot it up.
I mean, it's fine. It's just my video that's getting demonetized.
Yeah. Well,
I would have shot it up, and it's like.
No, I mean, I can't get monetization anyway right now.
Like pissed off I was at people. Like I would have just did that.
Well, if I need to, I can censor the video too.
Yeah. It's like honestly, make it uncensored. But it's like, you ever heard of the song? You know who Pearl Jam is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the song Jeremy?
Yeah.
That's how I felt. I felt like Jeremy.
Okay.
especially in the beginning of the song. That's how I felt. Like, I wish deaths on so many people, and I just kept it to myself. Like that's why I was a huge introvert, because I hated everyone as well.
You had pent up aggression, and that's
I
what
had
caused
so
you
much
to.
pent up aggression, yeah, and I just don't want to take it out because I feel like I'm not that type of person, but I just had it. That's why I don't like talking to people, because that's my social anxiety right there. Is because I just can't. I'm too scared of what they're gonna think of me and all that, and then like I just end up hating them. But it's just so much. Like I said, it's so easier for kids now. Like I wish anime has progressed that too, to that level. Like
Yeah.
I used to, yeah. I'm losing weight right now. Like I used to be fat as fuck. Like I weighed like 285, but like now I'm like 212. So I've been losing a lot of weight.
I think I should. I keep. I think I should mention what the context of what he just said there was.
Yeah.
It's fine. Emily's easily forgettable to mention. It's fine. Emily just said that she highly recommends getting aggression out by going to the gym and working out, because it's what she does.
I mean, that's why I took karate too, because I thought it was pretty cool and it was gonna help me. But I just still got bullied, and I refused to defend myself. I refused to do it because I was not that type of person. I mean, nowadays, yeah, because like growing up as a kid, like teaching myself how to defend myself was considered a punishment, because I would have been punished for that. No one gave a shit. Like the point of being bullied, it's not like they teach you, oh yeah, you gotta defend yourself. Bullies, what's up? No, fuck no. That's what they want you to do. It becomes a fucking cycle. Like, I don't know. Any of you guys listen to Tool? A song, like anyone? If not, I could just fully explain it.
I haven't heard of.
If no one does, no, okay, so I'll explain it. It's a song called Prison Sex that it's on their first album, and it's a really dark subject. It's a song that's about it's like a perspective of a child getting molested, and then it switches on from him being the victim to you being the victim. And the song practically talks about how because of this, the only way they can cope with it is through a cycle. Because I was a bully too as a kid. Because I used to bully people who were smaller than me growing up, and it just becomes a cycle because of that. Someone gets abused, and the only way to cope with it is to abuse more people. And the only way to stop that is to be aware with it. And I wasn't aware with it. That was another reason why I didn't have many friends, because I was a huge dick growing up. It wasn't until like my junior year I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm a dick, and I'm just gonna stop giving a shit. But like, I'm changing into a different man, because I used to be a lot different back then. It's just that people, like, when they're talking about bullying, they just don't focus on that aspect, because people think it's depression. No, there's a fucking cycle. You try to defend yourself, that's what they want you to do. They want you to defend yourself. They want you to do something. That's what they'll keep doing it. They want to see a reaction, and people just don't lower. Like they have to tell people, bullying people causes a chain reaction that causes more people to do it. Because people interpret that song as something different. They interpret it as religion. They interpret it as actual abuse. They interpret it as prison life, even though the song has nothing to do with prison. Like a song about someone getting molested, like has so many interpretations because of how much philosophical, I mean, that Tool is. Like I tell people this. It's like the Dobie brothers are getting so much shit because they're making anti-bullying videos. How is that gonna fucking do anything? Just saying stop bullying. Okay, yeah, stop school shooters from shooting guns. No, they're not gonna fucking listen. You gotta show them the fucking effects, and that's why I don't support those anti-bullying, because showing them that they can be empowered, yeah, go ahead. Like it's not gonna help. You gotta show them the negatives about it, why it's a bad thing. And like how much it affects people, not only mentally but throughout growing up, and what they're going to end up, especially they're going to end up being the same person, because it's like a cycle, because most likely the bully is end up becoming the reason why the bully is like that is because they grew up in an abusive household. That's most of the story. That's most of the things that I have. Like I've listened to, because most of the people I talked to were bullied. Yeah, like his dad was alcoholic, and I can see that. I can relate to him because my dad was alcoholic too. And like same thing with my sister. She was abused as a kid too, like by her teacher and one of our aunts. And It's a personal thing. I know I'm going personal, and that's why she took it out on me, and then I took it out on my niece. And I'm like, I just don't like that. Now I'm on good terms with my niece. Like we've been talking now, like we've been talking like humans, but it's just no one just talks about it, and I just pisses me the fuck off so much.
Yeah,
I know. I'm sorry if I went
Yeah.
too far like that, but
yeah, it's fine.
No, it's fine. Like Emily said, I got mad respect for you for talking about that.
Everybody always needs to vent sometime.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Emily's given me permission to talk about a subject that, since I know her, I know about this subject, and it's really probably a tough thing for her to talk about, and especially since she would have to type it out. So I'll try to explain it the best way that I can, from my perspective. In middle school, Emily at one point dated a guy that she was really attracted to, but and things started off really well. But eventually he started to ask her to do things that she didn't feel comfortable doing. He was wanting to try to get her to have sex with him, and she was not wanting to do that. And eventually he requested for her to do something, and she said no, and so he started beating her.
No, yeah, that's
Okay, yeah, no, that's where you cross the point and call the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like
But-
she was too scared though. I can see your.
Yeah, I can
situation.
understand where that's coming
She's afraid that it's gonna cause more stuff because she's done something, and like
With her, it was also the fact that, you know, after he did that, he ended up saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I love you," and all that stuff. And she believed him. She believed that he loved her.
yeah.
But the abuse just kept happening, verbally, physically. And she'd stay with him because she started to blame herself for it and say it was my fault that this is happening. It's not like he is not doing anything wrong. It's me. I'm the one that's doing stuff wrong. Luckily she was able to stay strong in regards to not giving him what he wanted with that. But he'd take, for a while, she would be able to hang out with me or a lot of her friends because he wouldn't allow her to. And eventually she had enough.
Yeah.
I think and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Emily, but I believe the breaking point was when you caught him cheating, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, she said yeah. She caught him cheating. And so she blamed. She got mad at him, and after he blamed her, and she. Oh, okay. Well, okay. It was multiple times. Okay, he had cheated on her multiple times, and eventually she. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, he did cheat on you multiple times with that person. Okay. Well, he cheated on her multiple times, and eventually she just had enough. She broke up with him. But before she did so, she started to get a little bit. She started to work out a bit more and learn how to defend herself a bit. So she broke up with him, and he tried something. She was able to defend herself. And I have mad respect for Emily. Major shout out to you, Emily, for being the real MVP, because you've taken this instance of you being just abused, and you've made yourself way better for it, and you work out every day to try to make yourself not. She's always talking about back then. She'd say that she didn't want to be as weak as she was then. She doesn't want to be abused. She wants to be able to protect other people too. And I look up to you, Emily. I have mad respect for you.
Honestly, yeah, I'm so glad she's not with him anymore, because that guy is like a huge asshole. Like, I would never treat a woman like. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I know you guys. I already told the story of my social anxiety, but like, I never had a girlfriend in my life.
Yeah.
I never had a relationship. Like, Honestly, as a kid, it used to hurt me a lot, but growing up, I just realized having a relationship isn't that worth it unless I'm like ready mentally and like economically ready. But I just felt like, yeah, like honestly, there's no way I would treat a person like that shitty, and I would hate myself if I did that, especially now. Yeah, that's what people tell me. Like I hear stories like that, and it's kind of like I just feel so bad. I just can't relate because I've never been in that situation, but I just feel really bad about that, and it's just been an issue. Like I just wish I could have done something as well. If I was in your shoes, I wish I could have done something because I know you just felt like so helpless because of that. Like
I felt I started to blame myself for not being able to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like honestly, it's just it's good, and it's like hope you can able to move on from that.
Emily, I want to know. I want to kind of talk a little bit more about why. Honestly, I want to talk a little bit more about you, I guess, because you're such a like a role model to me, I guess, and I want to know if I have permission to talk about some of the subjects that might be sensitive for you, and I don't want to talk about them unless you are okay with. Okay. She says it's okay.
Okay.
So first off, I've known Emily since like elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
I think first to second grade. I think she was in second grade. I was in first grade or something like that. Something along the lines of that. And not too long after I've known her, we're just kids. Her parents died in a car crash.
That's unfortunate. I'm sorry.
And you know, as one of her friends, I was concerned very deeply for her. I you know, and I was concerned with what was going to happen with her, and I'm sure she was too. She was going to go with her uncle, but her uncle didn't want her. Her uncle took her brother, but not her, because he didn't want to raise a daughter. He didn't want to raise a girl. And so she would have been put up for foster care. But almost as soon as she was, one of my other friends' parents adopted her as soon as they could have, and I'm very appreciative that they did that, because otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to Emily right now, and we wouldn't be such good friends, and none of this would happen. Emily wouldn't be the strong, independent woman that she is.
Yeah.
But so that happened pretty early on. The family that she was, her actual family, well, I'm not gonna say rich, but they were well off. They were like upper middle class, if anything. And when she got adopted by her new family, her new family's in between poor, the low class or the lower middle class.
Yeah.
In that area. Definitely, I think it seems to be a big change for you, Emily. From one to the other. Then in middle school, middle school was like the glory days for us, I guess. Like we'd hang out a lot. Me, her, and her sister. We'd all hang out at her house, and we'd hang out with her dad, with her foster father. Sorry, I said sister. I think it would be foster sister. I'm not familiar with the terms of all of the stuff.
Yeah, that it's fine.
But we just hang out and have some fun. Her father was a really good person. He who's a foster father, excuse me. He told both of them that he doesn't care what they do with their lives as long as they have fun with their lives and they enjoy it, because he tried to be the best person that he could, but he didn't enjoy his life, and he ended up all crumbling down, and now he became an alcoholic, but he recovered from it.
Honestly, yeah, like I just Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
And then I think it was either 8th grade or 9th grade. Her foster father passed away.
I'm sorry.
He passed away from lung cancer.
It's really unfortunate.
Oh
wow.
Yeah.
And then we were in high school. And at this point, Emily had already gone through the trauma of her abusive ex. She was getting mucho strong, I guess is the best way I'll put it. And one day her sister stayed after for some kind of event at school or whatever. I don't remember what she was doing. And like I wasn't here at this point. I was already home because I didn't stay after school for anything. The short time I was in high school. But at some point somebody had to her sister.
Oh my god.
And that not only mentally, I think, Emily. Actually, I don't even think I need to ask you if you were mentally distraught from that, because it's quite obvious that you would be. And her sister definitely was too. Her sister didn't cope with it well. And her sister ended up getting pregnant from that.
Oh no.
I don't want to mention anything about what happened in that situation because it's a bad situation. I want to keep her sister, her sister's information out of that.
That's fine.
But that happened.
I just feel really bad now.
And then just this year, so just last year, her sister was at a friend's house. Or was it a friend's house or was it your house, like your mom's house? Okay, it was their house. They were at their house. Her sister was at the house, drinking with a couple of her friends. Underage drinking is a bad thing. Don't do it, kids.
Yeah, I don't drink beer.
Yeah, I never would condone such actions, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't either.
I know people make fun of me for this, but I am straight edge because of like my past, and I just don't want to go to that path. I just feel like it shouldn't be. Like I use video games to cope, so I'd rather stick with that.
I don't even do weed.
Me neither. People say I sound like
I've never done anything.
People said I should do weed, but I'm like, nah, I'll pass.
And I'll get into why I don't do weed later whenever we get to my turn.
On that note of weed, her sister also did indulge in the devil's lettuce. And her sister also had how can I put this in the best way to not get immediately demonetized?
You are anyway, so
yeah, I already am anyway. Who cares? She had a large collection of sex toys.
Okay.
But anyway, that's off topic. That's more so just like something that I guess.
Well,
her sister was pretty interesting, and
that's like normal.
Yeah, that's kind of a normal thing, honestly, to me.
I don't.
I mean, sexual activity is normal.
I think me and Emily will agree that it went a little further than just. She had a replica of the. Have you guys played Saints Row?
Yeah.
You know the dildo bat.
I was about to
she
say.
had a replica of that.
Yeah, that might have went a bit too far there.
How? I'm not even gonna ask how many it was. Never mind. It was a lot. She had a lot of them too. And where was I at? I lost my drinking. Okay,
their house.
Drinking. Yeah, the drinking. So they were drinking, and eventually her sister drank a little too much, and she passed out, and she hit her head on the stairs. And her friends, being the douchebags that they are, left her. I'll mention that in a minute, Emily. Left her there, bleeding after hitting her head on the stairs. and her mom came home and saw her. Got her sent to the hospital. She was in the hospital for a while. But it caused her to have mild brain damage.
Oh, that's not good.
And have seizures.
I have a family member that actually has seizures. She lives really far away, but I know how that is. It gets really bad sometimes.
Yeah,
I can understand.
Anyway, from what Emily said, I'm not going to mention that exact word. But actually, I'll get to that after I talk about the next point. So just this year, I believe it was February. I'll say where I was at that moment. I was just sitting at home playing Xbox, I believe. When I got a text from Emily saying that her sister was sent to the hospital. She was having a seizure and she was sent to the hospital. And next thing I know, Emily told me that she died.
Oh no!
Wow.
So Emily has gone through a lot. Also, I almost forgot to mention the thing you put. Emily had to go through her stuff. Obviously, one of the things she found was what we can see in that chat: 2 terabytes of corn.
Corn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep the monetization as best as I can. Okay.
It's fucked, man. It's fucked.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a lot of censorship already.
I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing. This is 3 hours
Wait,
there's gonna be a lot of oofs.
I mean, unless you don't make
Big
revenue
oof
from
in chat.
this. I mean, you don't have to worry if you're not making any revenue from this.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't be worrying, but at the same time, it's
that's what I cuss a lot in my videos too.
I mean, there are certain trigger words I'll probably be oofing.
Yeah.
F in chat.
I'm gonna put an F in chat.
Oh, are we really gonna put F in chat for an actual? That's a meme.
Jesus. But yeah, keep going.
I'm doing it to the terabyte of porn.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The same.
All that porn going to waste.
What did? Actually, I don't want to ask what you did with that.
Probably the best thing not to. Saves like 50 gigabytes worth of it.
Yeah.
Best day ever, I guess.
But I think Emily, you've handled all of the stuff that life's thrown at you, like all the garbage that life's thrown at you, so well, and I look up to you for that. I mean, yeah, you did have that one time back in your sister's birthday this year. You got really drunk and were talking to me really weird, but hey, that was cool because at least we got to talk. You've been busy lately, and I'm happy that you were with us at the podcast. I'm happy you looked over my script for my last video and you made a few tweaks to make my video a little bit more entertaining. And I appreciate you, Emily, and I appreciate all the things that you are still here. And
I wish my friends was like that, because like on my first video, I had my friend help me record it because I didn't know like how to start a video, and I even told him it's like. I mean, he's been doing that stuff, but like he's not my friend anymore for whatever reason. He just doesn't want to talk to me. But I told him like it's like, yo, why are you doing this YouTube channel? I was like, because I just want to make it a hobby, you know. And I'm not doing it for the money. I'm not doing it for the. I mean, I'm doing it for the attention, yeah, but I don't want to do it for the money. Like I told him, it sounds cheesy, but as long as like if I could make only one person who watches my video laugh, then I would be happy.
That's the same for me.
Because I wanted to be a comedian when I grow up.
I know I was just talking about monetization, but I'm not doing it for the money. The money's just kind of like a nice thing to have on the side since I don't have a job currently since I'm going to college.
Yeah, I mean that's fine, but
it would just be a nice thing to have on the side if I eventually do it.
But like I told my friend, it's like I just want someone, at least one person, to watch my video just to get entertained and be like, oh yeah, man, this guy's funny, man. I want to do what he's doing. And I've done that. My friend actually has his own video styled like mine, and he does kind of use my jokes. He copies my jokes, but I'm like, I'm not mad because I'm like, that's what I want people to do. Yeah, I'm like, that's what I want people to do. Like, I want people to look up to me and I'll be like, okay, he can do it. Like I can do it too, and I just inspires people, and that's what I think I should do. Like if I had friends that just like they just did that. Honestly, I got respect for you too, Emily, because for being with Killer, or what do you call him, Dax? Like,
Yeah.
all the way in the end, like.
Yeah.
Shout out to using my real name.
Yeah, but it's just like my friends questioned me about that, and I'm like, I just wish they just see my vision, you know, because people think it's just all about the money, but no, it's not.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
I don't have any friends that can proofread anything because they just read the script. I'm like, what do you think? Like, it's okay, and then I just read it again. I'm like, I don't like this. It's like, then change it. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
I'll just. This is an awkward silence, but I'm waiting for.
Yeah,
Emily
no,
to,
it's
Yeah.
type.
drastically different, man. We were just talking about video games, and now we're talking about depression.
I think that's a good thing though. Like
Yeah,
being
it
able to vent out and talk
Yeah.
about these type of things is important.
Yeah, we can open
Wait,
up
should
other
this be
people.
like split into two? Because this has been going on for like a while.
Yeah, this has been
Yeah.
going on for like its own hour by this point. But
I would
mean,
split it into
Yeah, I'll probably split it into two. That'd be nice.
Oh yeah, he did that. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That caught me off guard.
The wife left me joke. Shout out to Emily for coming up with that for my video, adding that in, as well as adding in the nice sick burn to Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
But anybody else gonna talk? Because I might try to share my story.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You can do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, whenever I was a kid, you know, normal kid stuff. Didn't really watch anime. I was more into kind of like, you know, Gears of War, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. Whenever I was a kid, I'm actually probably younger than most people here, except for I think one person. I'm 15 right now, and
Oh wow, you don't sound 15. Actually,
Yeah.
You sound older than me. What the hell?
Yeah, man.
I know.
I mean, I don't
But-
blame you because people go up to me. Sorry if I'm cutting you off. I'm sorry, but people
Yeah,
ask
fine.
me, it's like, yo, Deadbolt, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 22. They're like, you don't fucking look 22. I'm like,
Yeah.
You look
thanks.
like JonTron, but like
Everyone
sexier.
keeps saying that. Yeah, like Hispanic John Trump.
I'm not gay, but I totally bang you.
Shit. Yeah, but I mean, I was just a normal kid, and one day my mom decided to marry a man named David, and that's where it kind of, you know, went for the worst, and my life kind of started tumbling down from there. Apparently, my mom was sick to a dog that David brought over, and it actually caused her to have health problems. And in between the time of that and David, the only memories I actually have of my childhood with her is me coming out of the van that we came with, coming to our home, and me being tired as fuck, coming out of the car, and her picking me up and putting me inside the house. And that's the only memory I really have of it. But that's the only fond memory I can find, because after that point, everything goes downhill, and I don't know what's going on. And by time that I know what's going to happen, my mom's dying on the bed, and she can't even speak. All I see from her lips is her saying, "I love you." And that's the last thing I see her ever say to me, because by that point I'm living with my grandparents, and I don't see my mom after that. And that really hit me hard, because after that point I wanted her back, and it caused me to have suicidal thoughts at the age of 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And that is not a normal thing that a child should be thinking of. They should be thinking, yeah, no. And I actually almost tried to commit suicide by choking myself. Well, I grabbed a part of my bed sheet out of the bed, and I decided to wrap the bed sheet around my neck and pull as hard as I could, trying to suffocate myself. And it didn't work because, you know, I still have self-preservation, and I decided to just stop. And I decided to just not feel. I just didn't want to do anything. My grandmother apparently my grandmother remembers me saying, "If I'm good, my mom will come back. If I'm good, my mom will come back." And it didn't happen. I was wishing everything and nothing. But I became depressed for the most of my elementary and my later years. And after 2 years, by that point, I started to become more outgoing and other things like that, which was usually the way that things go. But I never seemed depressed after that point. But the thing is like, I'm still somewhat depressed over it. Like, if I think about it, it's not going to be a happy memory. But it's mostly the fact nowadays that I am actually a sociopath, which, if none of you actually know what a sociopath is, it is someone who will emulate other people's emotions in order to become more acceptable in society. Because if I was just to act how I will naturally react to things, if it was to be just me, I would be stone cold. I wouldn't care about anyone's feelings, and I would honestly just not feel.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of you. I don't have a sociopathic natures. I have a psychopathic. I'm like a little bit of a psychopath. Like I've put it in chat already. I didn't develop those traits until like the 3rd grade, because that's when the bullying actually started. Because I gained a lot of weight back from 2nd grade to 3rd grade, and people they just called me names and all that. Like, and I asked for help. I even went counseling, and that didn't help. So I just developed psychopathic natures because of that.
Yeah,
and I really relate a lot, because I tried killing myself in middle school too. Because I
know this probably isn't the time to be saying this, but I could totally. Should I put Shane Dawson in the tags now that we've mentioned sociopath?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
that'll give me some views. Hell, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shane Dawson for not knowing what a fucking sociopath is.
Yeah, but so I was on being a sociopath. Yeah, so I would start being more outgoing, other things like that. I wouldn't even show any sort of emotion other than just trying to be happy. And the only times I could actually, be myself is in my own room. And even then, I couldn't even be myself because my family, my brothers and all that, we all shared the same room. It is way too cold in here. I'm fucking shaking.
Yeah, same, man.
Yeah, wow. And I could never cry. That's the biggest problem that I had. So I had to keep it all bottled up. And sooner or later, at one point, I just kind of burst it out. Couldn't handle it anymore. Went outside and tried to run away. Didn't work. Still smart enough to know that it wasn't a good idea. And that's mostly due to the fact that I was a sociopath thinking, well, this isn't in the best interest of me. You should just probably go back and just deal with it. And I mean, I never really thought about my mother for a very long time. After a while, like, it was still in my mind, in the back of my mind, but it wasn't something that I thought of naturally. It would have to be brought up. And it got to a point where I was fine, even people making jokes, like people that never even knew that my mother was dead. They would make jokes saying, like, your mom or something like that. And I'd be like, okay, that's fine. Doesn't matter. I would laugh to them too. Just in the inside, it kind of like, it made me mad, made me sad, kind of all those emotions. I couldn't explain it. It's just, and the thing was too, is that she was the only person there for me. Honest to God, she was the only one taking care of me, the only one there, the only one that would, take me to school, care for me, hug me, other things like that. She never even wanted to hurt me. The one time I even remember her even trying to hurt me, she said that she would be soft. She wouldn't hurt, she wouldn't slap me, she wouldn't do anything. Only thing that she'd do is get a paddle, barely tap, and I would walk away. That's about it.
Damn.
Shout out to us kids who used to be paddled.
Yeah, definitely.
Get the chunkla.
But
yeah, nothing. I mean, we totally grew up fine.
Yeah,
I don't see what people are complaining about.
Honestly, I prefer if your parents beat you out of discipline because
it teaches you to right from wrong easier.
It does. That's why I don't make bad decisions like I used to, because like I was disciplined a lot, and like kids end up getting spoiled because they didn't receive that discipline.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned some stuff from my from one of my professors about that. Because he's anti that, but at the same time, I think people are overreacting with some things. So parents have been spanking their kids or whipping, whatever the heck you want to call it, or nay-naying, for like a long time.
Yeah.
And like honestly, there's a lot of us that just turn out normal. I mean, we know right from wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so it got to a point where at one point people would make jokes about it, and not make jokes specifically about it, but would not know, and they would make jokes about my mom and like be like, well, like your mom's fat, as in like the joke, all that. But at one point I blurted out, and at recess whenever I was younger, that I would put some kid, and I'm a sociopath, so if I say something, like sociopaths with anger issues, not a good mix at all.
Yeah,
they will literally go and kill someone and not feel a thing if they could. They're basically a psychopath.
Yep, pretty much.
And the thing is like I would just boarding out. I said I would put you in the ground like my mother. And I'm a kid. Kids usually don't say things like that. They don't make murder threats.
No. I made threats as a kid too.
And I got called to the principal's office. That was the last time I ever really wanted to hurt anybody. And in giving context, it was because this kid was being a dickhead. And he was, in my eyes, being a dickhead whenever I was younger. And he was hogging the ball and, all that in recess. Stupid shit that kids will get mad at. But kids usually never get that mad. Kids don't even know what death is by that point. But after a long time, I actually started thinking, maybe I should try and protect others. And, maybe I should start using because like whenever I started getting older, I started noticing that my body was getting bigger and I was getting bulkier. Like my genetics were perfect enough that I could do a lot of stuff that most people can't with their genetics. Like I'm not a skinny guy. Honest to God, I'm like right now, for max on bench, I'm doing 245s on each side, and I'm only 15. And I wanted to start helping others, other things like that. I have a strong sense of justice, mostly due to the fact that my mom died on me when I was younger, and I don't want anybody else to feel that pain. And so I've never really been able to help anybody in a serious case. I've never hurt. None of my family members have ever been raped, anything like that. Nothing like that. I've had it much easier than you guys, honest to God. Even if my mom died on me, you guys have had it much worse, and you guys had to deal with so much worse crap than I have. The only reason mostly is because because nothing against you guys, but my mindset, what I've grown up to be, was somebody that doesn't feel. I don't feel like you guys do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's made it so much easier on me to deal with stuff like depression and other things like that. Because like I'll cry once in a while, I'll be sad, but at the end of the day, I'm still living. I'm still gonna keep going. I don't care. Remembering bad things that happened in the past is just another way of living. You just keep on going, and that's basically how I thought of it. It's like you might have had something bad happen to you in the past, but you can still make up for others in the future. You can still do something good for someone. You can still be helping others. And by that point, after a while, I actually stopped caring about my own well-being and would put myself into any situation I could to help others. If it was giving an example, by that point, I would probably go into, if I was in a journal store or something and there was a robbery, I would literally jump at the robber trying to get the gun off of him.
Yeah.
That's how much I felt. And I was never taught that it would get me into my family members were always like, you would get into trouble for it, and other things like that. Never believed them. And to this day, I actually have never gotten into trouble, but I know that someday it will actually probably get me extremely hurt, jumping into a situation where I do not need to be. But it's just how I was grown up. I want to help others.
Mm-hmm. That's me too, man. Like I love helping other people just for the sake of it, because I've noticed like even my mom taught me this because I've noticed people only want help if they know they're gonna get a reward. That's why my sister does that too.
Yeah.
I know I'm talking about my sister a lot, but like my sister has a tendency of like looking out for others only if she expects a gift in return, you know, because she bought me a TV and then used that against me. I'm not that type of person. I don't like doing that. If I want to help a person, it's because I'm a good Samaritan. I want to help someone. I want to. I want them because I don't want them to go through I am. It's like, honestly, like people should not
expect something.
They should not expect something in return. Like I had people come up to me randomly, like kids. It's like, yo, like anybody got $5 I can use to get some food. I was like, yo, here, have it. You can have it. And it's like, oh, I'll pay you back. I was like, don't worry about it. Don't.
Yeah, I mean, mostly, if you guys could, can you keep this out of the video? Because like this is where it gets into like legal.
Okay, guys. So Madden NFL is a good game. What do you guys think is it?
5 minutes later.
We all told our stories. It's I don't think Velveeta's had his chance to yet, but
Velveeta's a happy man.
Velveeta seems pretty happy.
He's a pretty happy little gumdrop. Like
yeah, he had the best childhood. His parents were alive. His parents were rich. Like he's gonna be a musician.
He didn't get dabbed on in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! Thank God.
The worst fate.
Oh, yeah. That's why I'm here.
Oh jeez.
No. I don't have a depressing story.
Hold on a minute. I need to double check. It's fine for me to cut back in at this point, right?
Yeah.
The video. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, you know when to cut back in. You know the time.
I don't have a depressing story, really, kind of, cause I don't know. I've never really gotten bullied per se. The only thing that like you can kind of consider bullying, but not really, is getting made fun of my setter. Like during the podcast, like you guys may have heard like my stutter like flowing a bit. Yeah. Other than that, really, and even that, like, it's not really bullying, more like teased, like very, like, not often at all, just like very. Like,
I don't want to interrupt, but I'm kind of, Killer Queen memes to dust here. It's the memes part. It kind of just inherently says I'm dumb. What do you mean by that?
By setter, I think.
Yeah, by setter.
What? Like you don't know what a stutter is?
No, I don't. Oh, the stutter?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I have a stutter too. Yeah, people teased me like that too for having a stutter.
I mean, listen to my voice. Listen how fucked it is. I mean, I've been made
Well,
fun
it's
of
called
so much.
speak English, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm speaking Jordanian.
Yeah. No, but people make fun of my stutter too. Like I have a horrible slurring problem. I'm not sure if you guys can speak. I mentioned this before, but English isn't my first language.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not.
What is your first language?
Spanish, but I grew up speaking Spanish, but ended up forgetting it and ended up learning English, and I learned it at a later year. I relearned Spanish though, so like I wish I was a good speaker because like I just feel like
Emily, you douche.
I just feel like I just feel like no one can understand me if I'm trying to explain something, and I feel like I'm a shit storyteller. That's why I hate about my voice.
Yeah,
I don't know, because the lead singer of Tool has a similar voice structure, and he's considered like a really good lead singer. Like people consider him like one of the best. But
I don't think you have really a big problem with speaking. I think you're a pretty good speaker.
The most trouble I have with hearing people is usually whenever they speak Chinese and there's a bunch of noise in the background. Like not exactly that. I mean, like they have a Chinese accent and they're trying to speak English. It's like, what are you saying?
Oh, Deadbolt's racist.
It's not racist. Have you ever been? Have you ever been at a buffet where, like, in a grocery mart, where there's just a bunch of noise in the background, and it's like you're trying to listen to this guy in front of you, you barely hear him. It's just so hard.
You see that Chinese go, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
just like, what are you saying? And you like, speaking of which, that story of its own. If you guys want to hear that, we can talk about that later. But
and the only thing for like anime, really, I'm not really a fan of really any anime besides Dragon Ball. Which like on occasion, like kids will call me like a gay for
you're gay.
Yeah, but then I'll just
okay, hold on.
Back that's funny. Oh yeah, lesbian. You play a Fortnite or something stupid that, but that's not. Yeah.
I think when you said that, it caught me a bit off guard when you said that, and then immediately, like 2 seconds after, Deadbolt just goes, "You gay?" All right. So,
yeah.
The podcast has been going on for quite a long time.
Actually, I have an exact estimate. It's been going on around 3 hours now.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have 2 hour and a half episodes here at some point.
Yeah.
But anyway, shout out to Velveeta, ReJax, and Deadbolt. I'll leave Deadbolt. I know he has a YouTube channel. Do you either of you two have YouTube channels I could link?
Yeah, mine's in my name. You can just search it up. It's got around 22 subscribers.
All right, I'll link the channels in the description below. I'll also leave a link to the Clothespin podcast as well.
Yeah.
Link
the Clothespin servers too, because I think few people would want to see that one too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can actually link the
because I don't have you're allowed to. That. You just check the rules, and I have the link set there. The only reason why I set the link like that is because if anyone wants to get the link, if anyone accepts the link, the first thing they see is the rules, because I just want to keep it organized.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah.
I'll leave a link in the description also for mine and Emily's Twitter accounts, so you can spam Emily with a bunch of notifications about eggs. I don't know.
How she's a girl.
Chegg.
About how she caused my wife to leave me. Anyway, guys, if you guys have anything else to say, then you can say it now. If not, then
Killer likes Asians.
And
Queen exposed.
That is the picture of the meme that just showed up in the podcast text chat is actually a picture that I took.
And Jack snorted water.
Yeah, I also snorted water. You guys want me to do it again? Actually, let me see if I have more water.
You're suicidal, man. You're gonna die.
Ooh, I have coffee.
You got an addiction.
I don't have enough coffee for this.
Yeah, dude, come on, stop. You're gonna get pneumonia. Emily's right. Get out of here. You're gonna get...
Ooh! You guys hear that?
Oh god.
At the full water bottle.
I just love how I love how the podcast just went from like something happy to like being excited to like depressing in the matter of an hour.
And back to being
happy to snorting water, and when we're trying to conclude.
Welcome back to me snorting. Hold on. Okay, I'm about to do it. Everybody ready?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.